for being, you know, the beam scout.
The up-and-comer, he's the beam scout. Well, I guess we'll find out, see exactly what's going on here. So, we're going to be going live here. Elektro versus Top5Sons running out to this first mid on Snakewater. All important, getting a nice early good start after the mid. Ideally, an early round. We see Waters putting up some sticky zoning more than anything. No real initiation from either team yet. This is just going to peek and prod. No one's jumping over just yet. It does look like we're going to see some bombs just over. Evrax, he jumps in deep, gets a decent amount of damage, but ends up killing himself. Trades on each side. Opti now going down as well, so a little bit difficult for Top5Sons. They don't really have the height to deal with no soldiers, and back they go. Very, very passive mid.
It felt like Top5Sons soldiers were very disconnected from their team. We saw Evrax jumping in as first, and then not really getting anything, and then Opti jumped after him and just got cleaned up as well. And now it's just going to be maybe easy transition for Aura going into second, and they get a force off of Umbrak.
That's really, really nice for Aura. They jump their soldiers in yet, get that super easy force, and Demos is like, right boys, all the way out I'm going, keeping hold of my Uber. Not a single player was even lost there for Aura. That's really, really clean. Now though, they have an opportunity towards Saw. They can go fast all the way into lobby if they really want. Demos taking it just a little bit slow, playing with both his scouts really, really close to the beam. We do see a soldier jumping in. Oh, one rocket! He does force off the Uber here. So Demos, it would have been a drop otherwise. Completely understandable use, but they're starting to move through left. They can take the space.
It looks like they're taking over this left area. They got forced really far back, but they're still taking over. Now this fight's getting really scrappy, and Aura players are just going down left and right. And maybe Top5Sons can re-push this into the second?
Yeah.
It looks like they're going to be falling all the way back.
I mean, there's no reason why not. Top5, you know, looking to take control of the second point. 3 players were down. Only 2 spawners coming up now on Top5Sons, so should be, sorry, on Elektro. Should be pretty solid to keep on moving. Obviously, Uber still in the hands of Umbrak, so they can start moving through Saw. Looks like they want to start taking some of this height. Azunis is going to jump in, but the perfect body block from Zorax. That's super, super nice. Yeah, picking up Nemo and Azunis. Umbrak not having to use Uber at all. This is basically the ideal situation, and War's calling for his boys. Keep on moving through grass. This Uber advantage, it is starting to dwindle, but they can keep on moving forward. Demo's on just about getting 100% of his own, but they're so far back with these 2 players down. Can they really contest on second?
I mean, Aura, I don't think they can contest at this point. I mean, they got the Uber in time, but they had 2 players down, and there's nothing you can do going 4v6. Just holding that second point of Snakewater. Once Top5Sons got onto the second point itself, it's very difficult to push them away once they get that high ground.
Yeah.
Now they're just going to get set up in lobby very nicely. Probably going to send a sack of some sort. I really want to see Kunis sniping at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why not. They can take some kind of opportunity, maybe just go for a little peek or a sack, and, you know, really, I would imagine a double sack would probably make the most sense. We do see a sniper in the hands of Nevo, so we do see these long angles being watched, gonna make it just a little bit more difficult for a super deep sack. But that being said, we do know that Demos is in this classic little sniper hiding spot, so we're taking a little peek here, not really hitting anything just yet. He has been spotted, so everyone's going to be playing very much around this fact, so it'll be interesting to see exactly what people want to do here on the side of Top5Sons. They are actually trying to bust through. Uber does get used. This is a super, super early use. Looks like they will be getting the gun, but not really getting anything else here at all. Pretty disastrous, actually, and they're just going to back all the way out to 7.
I mean, trading Uber for a gun is not something that you want to do. I don't think that was very intentional. And Opti gets caught out in lower as well. And this just looks like an easy push out for Aura. If they get all of the entrances covered, there is no way that they're going to get back up. And that's exactly what they're doing. They have a soldier up lower, down lower even, and they're just swarming this point and keeping their Uber intact. They're just probably just going to be pushing into mid with this.
Yeah, well, cold, calm, and clinical, walking all the way exactly as you say. We do just about see Azunis getting picked up with a sticky trap, so a little bit more difficult. Still, 30% Uber advantage. I mean, there's arguments to be made either way. If Aura wants to continue playing a little bit slow, which it looks like they're going to be, it looks like that one pick's going to be everything that Top5Sons need to just make this a nice equal Uber situation. Eames playing towards Grass is getting some stickies towards the choke point, but I feel like Top5Sons, the way that they're doing things, they want to be a little bit more aggressive. They want to be a bit more proactive and try and make something happen here.
Sometimes you just really want to get aggro with the Uber. I mean, the Uber advantage lost here was around 38 seconds, and once you have that big of an Uber advantage, you want to get it used at some point, otherwise it just gets wasted. And now it looks like Yeho just got bombed by Opti and gets out alive as well. That's a pick from the defending side, and that opens up so much of the screen area. There is only one scout that can deny these soldiers. Everex is jumping in as well.
Yeah, they're walking so far in through grass. Everex does get a little bit weak, and it will be causing Umbrak to use his Uber now. Demo's just only using his own about 40% better on his Uber, and they can look to chase on grass. These really good juggles from Eames, but unfortunately just juggling them too far into the choke point. So it's actually going to be the only player going down is on the Elektro side. So Big Daddy Wars is like, right, boys, one player advantage is all we need. I'm going to start walking through, get some decent damage towards Bow. We might even be able to lock out some of these players. Eames wants to commit hitting that crucial pipe. He's going to get taken down himself. Players being traded absolutely everywhere, but it does look like things in terms of positioning are just about going the way of Top5Sons. Oh, it's a good bomb, but Kunu's absolutely on it now. He's trying to get forward onto this frag to try and get Nevo now. Zunis going down, just Nevo alive, and there's 3 players. This is full chariot right now, going straight to last. The spawns are going to be so difficult. Nevo has an absolute mountain to climb, and he won't be doing it. Top5Sons securing this first round.
There is absolutely nothing you can do there. I mean, it was a very smart play from Top5Sons, because even though they were jar pushing cross, they kept 2 players on their flank, and as soon as he thought that he can just, you know, go into Sol and get some cheeky plays through window, maybe going back to mid, but he got picked out by the Top5Sons flank, and then it's instantly, you know, a 5v6 situation, pushing into second makes it way easier.
Definitely makes things a little bit nicer, and it's secured them this good round advantage. So going into the second mid now, they don't have to worry quite as much. They've already got themselves a little bit of a buffer. Everex on this top left getting a little bit of info. He knows exactly how to counter jump here if he wants to, but he's actually just playing nice and passive. Looks like they want to try and deal with some of these initial players. We do see Opti and Everex now both jumping in, not really getting anything, not really position or damage being dealt. So once again, the soldiers from top 5 are dying. The rest of the team is just backing out. No one's overcommitting.
That was a brutal top control from Aura. They literally at one point they had 4 players up top, and when you see all of the rockets, you know, stickies and scouts scattering you from up top, spamming you down, at that point when you lose that top control that much, especially on Snakewater mid, there's just nothing you can do. You just have to get out at that point. But it looks like War is kind of getting caught out in the lobby and makes it out through lower. But it's definitely going to be a stalemate now on the last, and Aura has to make something happen as they're 1 round down coming into this match.
Yeah, they are. So they have some options available. We do see Kunu sniping now, obviously defensive, playing just a little bit around his heels, just I'm still kind of preempting possibly a sniper on the other side. We might have the opportunity for a bit of a forward hold for Top5Sons. We're kind of seeing War play pretty aggressive, but doesn't look like anyone else is quite feeling it at the moment. Importantly, the only, actually I was going to say the only off-gas is, it was the sniper up until Kunu decided to remain on scout. They've got a gun going up, but I don't know, I feel like Top5Sons, they're going to keep kind of peeking and prodding as much as it's probably in the effort. Oh my god!
Zunis just sneaks in and gets Umbrak. I mean, Poison was jumping in at the same time, and he was drawing the attention from the sentry gun, and as soon as just walks through drop down and gets an easy entry on Umbrak, just easy through rockets. Very crisp.
Super crisp, even getting set into the skybox for some star points as well, so that's going to be really good now. Umbrak just only spawning, so they've waited for their spawns. Nice and patient from Elektro. They're going to be buffing up all their remaining little boys. Kunu going on this deep peek on lower, but he's been spotted. Surely there's nothing he can get. Nope. All the way back he goes. Eames looks like he's calling for his boys to start moving through top right. They don't have ages to mess around with, but at the same time, it is still about a 60% advantage. Looks like Shutter's where they're going. Yep, Uber's getting used. Eames just about not able to jump through, but they force a lot of players into spawn. But they can start playing towards spawn, which they're doing exactly now. They're just standing directly on it. So many top 5 players now trying to jump towards it, but the damage from Poison so good. Important pipes from War, but it will be too little too late. Elektro getting on point and immediately equalizing this.
That was a very questionable sentry gun position. I mean, it works when you're forward holding there, but when you're holding whilst on Uber disadvantage, you really want to put it as far as you want, and as you can, rather, because once that gun goes down, there's not much, you know, holding the enemy team pushing in from basically just swarming into last.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe it's a lesson they can learn from even just this game, really make things a little bit better for next time. But this is third mid, and nice and equal. Soldiers jumping everywhere entirely throughout the map. Once again, though, it looks like it's Elektro getting the better end of this. Do you see these soldiers jumping in? Poison getting cleaned up. Sark's hitting these all-important meat shots, but oh, it's so difficult to get back in. He's hitting a lot of damage right now. Looks like he wants to play just a little bit solo, but we do have the entirety of the Top5Sons combo. Once again, they've backed up all the way to back. This time, though, they've got their Uber. They've got enough players to contest grass. They really shouldn't be letting letting too many of the Elektro players in.
That mid was so fast, I didn't know what happened. It was literally just Solly's bombing over and then everyone gets bullied out, but Azunis gets an Umbrak out of nowhere. Did he flank to cheese?
I'm not even sure. I think he might have just jumped in and just somehow people weren't quite there to deny. I think it might have been while Umbrak was in the middle of a transition, but I mean, a nice clean force once again. Temo's nowhere near to take even a single point of damage, so I mean, it's going to be looking pretty good. Realistically speaking, Aura's the kind of team where they're just going to want to play this slow and take second for free. They know someone will bomb them at some point. They must be spotting where Everex and Opti are playing, and I feel like this little bit of spam, this little bit of kind of knowledge, yeah, it's going to be forcing both these soldiers back. So now they have this opportunity to move all the way through lower. Opti as well getting cleaned up nice and easy. That's good stuff. Eames now jumping in once again, not quite getting his jump in. He's getting some decent damage towards right, but the point is wide open. There's no reason why he can't stand in it. Yeehaw hitting some crucial shots now onto War, but somehow they're not quite getting the point. Uber's getting used now by Umbrak, and this should be everything they need. Is only Poison alive above point, and that's going to be it. Demos.
Pretty sure Umbrak just served a rocket and whipped out his Uber saw, and Uber saw someone and got the Uber. I just see him flying through us. I think that's what happened. I didn't see him actually get it, but he went from like 80% to 100, so 90% sure that's what happened. So pretty big play from Umbrak to, you know, save his team from basically losing the second round in a row.
Yeah, it's crucial stuff. Or Elektro now, they're actually just drive pushing. They've already taken down Everex. Looks like War's trying to commit as much as he physically can towards point. We are now seeing a frag get traded, so it might be a case that Aura doesn't quite want to fully commit here. Even slightly late getting the memo. We do have a flank actually from Opti, but he's going to get cleaned up a little bit too quickly by the scout class, so I mean, it does open up an opportunity again. Keep on peeking and prodding on grass. Neither team wants to fully commit too much right now. War's hitting so much damage towards these scouts, so they can just secure just one of these frags. Oh, and the pipe onto Demo. So good. Umbrak's got his Uber. He's used now, and this should just be an absolute farm Uber.
I mean, when you're Umbrak and you see...
No! The flank! From Poison!
Poison and Azunis just combined 2 rockets gets a 4K. I was about to say, like, there is no point to not use your Uber when you are seeing the enemy medic just dying in front of your eyes and you have 2 scouts on you. I mean, that's an easy cleanup. You're just gonna push, you know, for free to mid and secure that. But it looks like just Azunis and Poison hiding in a corner, getting 2 rockets of each, can wipe an entire team.
Yeah, I mean, turns out Soldier class it is still pretty good. It has its days, you know, it's not too bad. So that's going to be leading them in a pretty decent situation.
Soldier class can
no, they can do stuff, you know, shoot the floor, kill the guys. It isn't too bad. I know it feels like it sometimes. So we do have Aura Elektro. They're knocking on the door of top 5's last, but the Uber advantage is like 7%, you know. I feel like even the most aggressive Russian team out there, they don't think that's really quite enough. So I think we will be stalemating, finding some opportunities to peek and prod a little bit.
But you know what, a Russian team would be on crit speed right now.
They would, quite probably.
Deep, like 5 minutes into crit speed probably already. So they're just peeking this far left-hand side to see what they can do. It's probably just going to end up in a sack. Let's be real.
Yeah, you'd think so. Kuno, he's not playing on this right-hand side. He's not watching those long angles in the same way. He's kind of expecting them to commit a little bit further and trusting War to hold the close angles in. So far, it's working pretty well. He's now starting to peek a little bit deeper. He's getting some opportunities, but uncharacteristically...
He's deep on Umbra.
Oh, yeah, he gets one rocket. Nice little surf.
Poison
no! Oh, again, these soldier combos. They're so good, so coordinated. Again, Umbrak. I feel like every force and drop's been Umbrak so far.
How many times we've seen just Poison and Azunis just doing something together and it just works. They're so in sync this game. It feels incredible. Like, we are only 14 minutes into this game and I'm pretty sure I've seen like 5 plays where these guys combined. Absolute mayhem.
Yeah, they're really pulling it out for their team, and it's once again putting Aura Elektro in a big advantageous position. No reason why they can't just start looking to move through lower, and it's actually going to be far left they're going for. They have no fear of any kind of sniper. Now using that Uber, even starting to walk forward. There's so many of these players towards the left-hand side. Gun's been dealt with. Pyro's going super with. No one's really able to get to point, and no one's really able to get the height too much. It's going to be all about securing these first few frags. They're getting traded every which way right now. It does look like Top5Sons remaining in... I don't know, they're on some kind of high ground, but they're just about 1 player down now. Oh my god, Everex has to hit some really crucial stuff right now. Good damage on the scout, picking up one, the second scout. Oh, the air shot! Everex beasting both scouts. Goodbye, get out of here.
That was such a nice rocket as well. I was about to say that Kunu, I mean, they had Pyro for just holding glass in general with the sentry gun, but once that gun goes down, Pyro is pretty much useless, especially on open lasts like Snakewater. And that's exactly what happened. Kunu went down instantly to, you know, combination of 2 scouts, but Everx absolutely, you know, just 1v2 against 2 scouts, just hitting all of those directs.
Soldier class, man, soldier class. This is the day for it. Any of you American folks who may not know of Everx, this is his introduction to you guys. But in all of that, Demo's managed to live. He's got an uber advantage, so we get yet another shot for Elektro to start moving in. Kunu still sniping towards his left-hand side, so it will be using straight through this shutter. Once again, no one playing super close. Eames starting to deal with this gun a little bit. Both soldiers on the high ground getting some decent damage, but the point time is absolutely spectacular. Both scouts straight on there. Elektro in a winning position now.
They were so focused on taking the ground on the right-hand side from the Top5Sons. They were taking over the truck and the hut as well, but they completely forgot about the point. And once you have 2 scouts on a point, you instantly need someone to block that, because that point comes really fast.
It really does. It's not quite as bad as Badlands, but ×4 is enough to make anyone kind of, you know, second guess exactly how secure your hold is. So, 4th mid of the game. Still 15 minutes left to go. Everything to play for. Once again, we might be seeing a slightly more passive mid up until these soldiers find their big opportunities. War, though, he wants to kind of initiate things himself. He's moving just a little bit far forward. As soon as he gets the opportunity, oh, he doesn't quite hit the air shot, I don't think. He is trading with Everx. Poison tries to get a bit of a chance, but he's just taking too much damage as well. It's finally Top5Sons' opportunity to surge forward. War's getting this nice damage out. Yep, Poison's getting cleaned up. The rest of Elektro have no choice but to leave right now. And the opportunity to chase is there. War, he's really feeling it. He's starting to move towards grass, just delaying slightly for his team. He wants to keep on moving forward along with Kunu now. Oh, but Ombrak's getting super weak now. 40 health on him. This might actually be really, really scary to possibly drop, especially with this jumper who's just about, I'm not even sure where he went. Actually, really nice holding from Ombrak. How are they just walking all the way in here?
It doesn't really make sense to me. There are just people from Aura just dying at random places, and now they have 2 picks pushing into last. They're just getting far left-hand side for free. They have 2 Solis trying to go for the sack, but Demo's deep in spawn.
They're just standing on point, Adysky. They just stood on point.
Just stood on point and won the round.
What's going on?
I'm pretty sure Aura was so afraid of 2 Solis trying to get a force off of Demos that they were just all completely like standing still in the spawn, just waiting for the Solis to basically just die off. But, you know, Scout Cost can stand on a point.
Equal Uber, walk from mid onto the last point, cap it, right, whatever. Okay, equal once again, you know. Nothing that happens really matters too far, because we got ourselves another mid. This time, Adysky, tell me what you're seeing on this mid.
I was waiting the last mid from the Aura Elektro soldiers to come in, you know, do their sync bombs, but right now, we saw the red soldiers jumping in, but everyone's dying from Aura. They couldn't jump. They basically couldn't get their jumps off because they just got instantly denied, and now it's a huge chase. Demos is running for his life through lower with Yeehaw.
Yeah, it does look
that
like...
was a very dominant mid from Top5Sons. I mean, these bombs from Aura are just getting more and more delayed. At the start, it was working. They were going straight away, getting this top control. Now they're just waiting and waiting, and it's just getting too late. They're just standing on low ground, and nothing is happening.
It definitely seems like Top5Sons are working things out just a little bit. I mean, you know, you can always say it is, you know, just as well. Demos did manage to get out with his life, so we are at least in an equal situation. It's not quite as disastrous as it could have been. I did think at one point that chase might have been, you know, kind of one of those go all the way, but it is equal. We do have Nevo sniping now, peeking towards the lobby, taking his time in terms of picking his targets. Does it really matter if he gets a scout or a soldier? From his point of view, perhaps not, but I think it's going to be Opti. He's going to be trying to speed shot in. Actually, I don't think he's even been seen. Okay, he has been spotted now. He's going to try and get a bit of damage, and alongside Everx, he's going to get taken down. So, no soldiers on the side of top 5. They have to back on outside, and Elektro is already towards the lobby. They are ready to go. They're ready to start trying to at least make some kind of big Nevo. Oh, he gets his opportunity, not quite hitting the shot. Oh, he's getting so well spammed down. Ombrak's now in his fourth hold position. Nevo, though, he's so cheeky, he doesn't care. He wants to take one opportunity after another, but it's so difficult. Getting into that angle is surely nearly impossible from this position.
Nevo was fully aware that both of the soldiers from top 5 Rocket are down, and there is no one that can contest him, you know, to spam the angles and the doors. So he was just free to basically peek any angle that he wanted, but it's very unfortunate that Umbrak was just holding so close to the wall that he couldn't get in.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but I mean, you know, we can also say it was some good play from Umbrak. You know, he knew his positions, but it does look like it's going to be the Nevo show continuing. Not really hit a shot yet. I mean, he's getting different opportunities, but at least for the time being, nothing's really stuck out as something he, you know, really wants too much. He's getting the peak really deep into left. You got to feel like Top5Sons shouldn't be so happy about this. Eventually, he's just going to walk in and possibly use a body shot on Umbrak, you know. He's got to be screaming at his team. Umbrak's going to be like, guys, come on, keep control of left-hand side. You can't keep putting me at risk like this.
You really need protection as a sniper there on a far right-hand side of your aura. I mean, if you want to peek into lobby like that and you just get swarmed by, let's say, 2 soldiers or a scout Russian-y, you really need that. We can see that they are pretty well set up. They have a sticky trap. They have Azunis there. Azunis actually jumping.
Oh! Once again, the soldiers from Elektro perfectly aligning themselves to get a nice, easy
and
force.
Poison following up after
Poison!
Everyone was so weak because they were pushing in. They got forced off, so they wanted to get something done with the Uber. But the only thing that's done is that everyone after the Uber was so weak because they were all rushing in, and Poison just following up after the Uber faded is going to be
That's absolutely insane. Grumpycore is going to be absolutely ecstatic because Poison is owning, and we're going all the way to second now. 2 more clean frags for Elektro. Goodbye, Kuno and Everex. You don't want you around here anymore. Still, 30% advantage. Eames wants to keep on pushing this advantage as well. They might even be able to keep looking to take this forward. Yeah, once again picking up Opti one by one. They're just batting Top5Sons to the side. And they could maybe, if they deny this forward spawn, no, Everex will just about get it. So it will be equal Ubers and it will be just a 1-player advantage. But it's possible Aura might want to keep moving here, at least get some opportunity for a bit of a sack. As all 5 players, I believe. Yeah, the soldier's going in deep again, but Azunis, he can't make the magic happen every time, and Umbrak's going to be keeping hold of his Uber.
What I'm seeing repeating from the top 5's perspective is that they are not fully decided as a team which point they want to hold. Like, they're on the mid, they had 2 solis basically holding top, just way ahead of the rest of their team, and they really need to decide on which point they want to hold, because once you have your team split into basically 2 groups, like doing different things, you're just gonna get picked one by one, and you're just gonna get leapfrogged from basically what's happening now. They were pushing into last, and they got pushed into their second. It was very lucky that they could at least stabilize in their second.
Yeah, well, it does look like stabilization is where we're going to continue to be for the minute. No significant off-classes on the side of Elektro, but we do see Cooney once again picking up the sniper rifle, so getting a bit of an opportunity. Oh, not quite hitting it on Poison. And he's, you know, they always say that first shot on sniper is the most important one, you know? The second they hear that shot ring out, they're like, okay, we're going to play just that little bit differently. Yeah, exactly.
We're going to change our positions. Like, that first shot was good.
Oh!
Never mind.
Apparently not. Yeah, Eames is just going to be AFK, and that's going to pick up Azunis as well. Overstaying his welcome towards Saul. Kunu keeping up this aggression. Oh, nearly had an opportunity for a shot there. Even Demos is peeking forward now. Sorax is a little bit too past there. Now it's a little bit different now for Top5Sons. They're going to be trading, but they don't really have a scout to follow up with this. Everex more than competent here, but it's actually pretty good. He was forcing a lot of flashes right now, and even getting a bit of height here. Yeah, picking up Everex. At least there will be a trade for Nevo, but the rest of Top5Sons, they can't really get in. Opti though on the flank. Oh, 2 crispy rockets, cleaning Demos up oh so easily, and it's going to be Top5Sons very happy with that. Just chilling a little bit further back on second, going to be playing their advantage. The fact that they're completely content to give up second, at least for the time being, if they want to block, they kind of have to do it now, but they might have actually left it a little bit too late. We did see at least one moving on lower, so this might be a potential backup opportunity. Yes, we actually have Azunis on last. He's got to be getting decimated by Opti, so oh, a little bit scary there, a little bit scary.
A little bit scary. That was way too close for top 5's comfort, but that's something you really want to do when the enemy medic goes down and you're paying these players just to play the point and have to play aggro without heals. Then at the end of the fight, you can just pick them one by one, but it almost cost them a round there. But now they're securing the mid point, you know, full Uber advantage. They're actually 40% advantage, but they're ready to move into this lower grass area. Maybe they can get on second in time before Demos gets his Uber, but Aura is looking strong. They really want to hold on to this point.
Yeah, I mean, it does look like Demos going to be getting so close to his. Taking down Everex is going to make this more difficult. 95% on Demos. Actually, War's going to be jumping in, doing so much damage. Taking down Demos. Old man War with the stickies. My God, Demos was so close, and actually they might just be able to roll this to last. They don't have soldiers, but only 3 players up on Aura Elektro. Maybe they want to, maybe not. I feel like the brain plays to play the Uber, but you know, every now and then you got to follow your heart. However, I think Top5Sons are heartless. Brain will prevail.
That was absolutely huge from War. Demos was at 97% there, literally a second away from his Uber. That would have changed everything. If Demos got the Uber there and managed to pop off and save his Demo man, they would be holding on to mid right now. But now they're holding last on Uber disadvantage. They don't have time to set up a gun. They only have Nevo with the heavy weapons guy and his minigun on this truck area. And we see Ombrak using the Zebra on far left-hand side on War to last. And not many kills are getting traded. Nothing really is happening. We see War bombing forward.
I mean, they're getting some frags now. Yeah, there's a bit of a collapse, and I don't even know quite how this is happening. Somehow Demos is on point, and that's actually just going to be that.
How did that happen? During the entire Uber, no one was dying, and then once the Uber was done, I was just literally spotting the health bars of the red team just going down one by one. And at the end of the day, it was just Demos alone trying to get Saws. Almost got the Uber with his Uber Saw, but didn't quite manage to do so. So it's going to be 3-2 for top 5. 4 minutes left.
Yep, that's going to be it. So going into yet another mid. It's been a pretty fast-paced game. Or maybe wanting to keep up this pace. Getting a little aggressive early. Opti this time is going to be jumping deep. Azunis, though, not quite hitting those all-important rockets. Poison as well. Getting cleaned up, these Aura soldiers. Always in sync and dying, apparently, that way as well. We do see War actually jumping in nice and deep onto Ombrak. Oh, sorry, not onto Ombrak. What am I talking about?
That was Eames jumping into Ombrak.
That was the one. Forgive me, Adysky.
Actually, that was very well played on mid from Top5Sons because they knew that the time is pushing onto the Aura guys, so they had to play something aggro on mids. So they were awaiting the double solid aggression, and that's exactly what happened. They just clean up the soldiers and then move forward once they are dealt with, and it was just a clean cut mid, and now they're gonna be feeling safe. Holding on to this second point, 3 minutes left, 1 round up. They could have literally built a sentry gun at the second point. Just be happy with that.
They could have. Looks like they didn't quite want to. I believe they had an opportunity to get some weirder off-classes if they want, but I think they're quite happy just to stay here. Eames, though, he knows that clock is ticking down, and they need at least 1 round to force us to yet another golden cap today. They're peeking and prodding in lobby, but you see War on his angles getting some really good spam. The place where Ombrak's positioned makes it really difficult, but actually picking up War, that really opens up opportunities now. Opti's actually just jumped straight to last. He's got the pain train. He will get taken down by some swift rockets from Poison and Mizunis, so this is 2 players down now for top 5. This is about as good of an opportunity as you're really going to get, but Eames gets taken down before anyone can really get through the doorway, so I mean, an opportunity basically lost there. Demos as well getting really weak. I feel like you're nearly getting to the position where you just have to trade, and yet looks like they think the exact same. Demos using just that little bit earlier, so only about 15%, and Yeehor just keeping them from getting too far into this doorway, but ultimately they will have to back up. Eames is up in 1 second, and the repush has to be pretty soon, because 1 minute 50, you don't have a lot of time to wait around.
Yet again, it felt like Opti, he was going for a solo play again, just trying to back up on last, but it doesn't seem like he's that connected. It's happened a couple of times this game where he's done his own thing, and in the end, it's clear that top 5...
They have no idea about Azunis. They have absolutely no idea. He's jumping, he's getting 1 rocket, but it's not enough. It just isn't, and again,
but there's someone
Poison.
Last.
Oh my God, there's just fighting. Opti just stands on a pain train, wins the game, and it's just like, oh, that was so disastrous for Elektro.
Okay, I was in the middle of a sentence where I was talking about Opti, you know, just going for his own plays, and them not working because it's not very synchronized with what their team's goal is. But then he gets around, so I guess scratch that, you know.
Joke's on you, basically. What do you know? What do you know? So this is going to be at 1 minute left in the game. It's 4-2, so this is technically and mathematically going to be a win for Top5Sons, but there's still a few moments to get some more frags in for the logs to make sure our analysts think that you're good at the game. So it does look like Aura Elektro is going to be securing 1 more mid here. Yep, shot after shot after shot. Nevo's just hitting meat shots everywhere, even combining with Yeehor to pick up Ombrak. So crispy little wipe here, but it's not really going to be enough here to secure things. And it looks like it's going to be an early lead in terms of maps for Top5Sons.
And that's a scoreline that I was actually expecting, but the game didn't look like from what for what I was, looking for.
Our control
It,
point has
I
been
really
captured.
wanted to see top 5 just dominate the entire map, because it feels like they're gonna be really strong on Snakewater. But Aura seemed to have way better coordination on mids. And it was just the transitions between the points that didn't really work out for them.
It really did feel like there was a lot of times where, I mean, Azunis and Poison would do well. They'd kind of get onto Umbrak and then, I don't know, like somehow things would kind of just collapse a bit after, or maybe it's just a case of, it kind of worked for a bit and then just kind of stopped working, and then, I don't know, before you knew it, it was just kind of top 5 taking a bit of control. But, I mean, that being said, I feel like you can kind of consider it as a 3-2 with an asterisk, right? It was only a 4-2 because, Eames and his merry gang of gamers kind of felt obligated to have to move forward
They
with
really
about...
had to push out. They were being pushed by the clock, and that's usually what happens, right? You are one round down or a couple of rounds down,
Yeah.
and the clock is ticking on you, and you absolutely have to do something, even though you're pushing out of last, And Snakewater being notorious of being one of the hardest maps to push out of last.
Yeah, exactly. So, you're going to be in that position. You've got to push. You've got to do something. So, realistically, I have no doubt that Aura could have kept that as a 3-2 loss, but doesn't really mean anything. The scoreline doesn't really factor into anything. It's all about the big W or the big L, and at least for the minute, they're going to be taking a big old lose on this first map. So, I do believe, I believe we've got some analyst boys who are ready to break it down a little bit here. We've got Turbo Tabs, we've got Alba, and we've got Dumtum. Boys, that was exciting and really, really equal. What are you thinking?
Thank you, eepily. Thank you. Yep, it is I, Big T. We got Big A, and we've also... no. Okay. So, anyway, welcome back to the desk, boys. And sadly, you failed me. And I don't appreciate failure. So, you predicted that Aura Elektro were going to win this out, and it seems it hasn't. So, you're going to have to redeem yourselves and just tell me what went wrong. What went wrong for Aura Elektro in this game?
All right, so starting off in the beginning of the game where Aura had like a little bit of control, top 5 every mid, they would send their 2 solos in, and Aura would just clean them up. This happened the first 3 mids. After that, top 5 changed up their mid and just were a lot more passive, and Aura sent their solos in, and they got picked off instead. So it was almost like reversed roles towards the later mids.
Okay, now I know production are absolutely itching to use those logs, so we'll get them on the screen. But Dumtum, carry on with the good word. Why did Aura Elektro lose this?
It felt like there were so many situations where it felt like they played way too afraid almost, not just even passive, but afraid of what is coming forward, the wall of top 5Sons players coming towards them. They backed out of points fairly. There was a second point where they clearly had a chance to contest, nothing happened. There were last pushes as well, where everybody was just led onto the point by top 5Sons way too easily. Something that happens a few times during the regular TF2 season as well in this recent one. So it seemed to be a recurring problem for them to just respect their opponents too much and let them take space too easily. That just leads to a team like Top 5Sons to just take those opportunities and go all the way with them.
Oh, boys, Daddy's home. Look at War. He's towering above everybody. Not only, well, he's got a decent amount of kills, but his deaths are pretty low. His damage is pretty high. I mean, Eames is trying to snap him at the ankles there, but he's not doing the same job in the death department. Is it, do you see a reason of why War is such a force in this game? Is it all down to the War factor? Could any other demo man pull off what he's did today?
I mean, if you're looking at this top 5 roster, there's a lot of DM capability on this roster, and they really did well in the scrappy fights. And I feel like they were very good at forcing the scrappy fights onto Aura, and which in the end led to the scoreline being 4-2 for top 5.
Anything jumping out at you, Dumtum?
I mean, you look at the bottom, you see the Frenchies, Never and Azunis not performing to the standard we're used to, especially from a flank combo that is well known for being one of the ones that played for among the longest times at the moment. So the cohesion between the two is not quite there. Whereas surprisingly, Poison and Azunis, the soldier combo on Elektro, had impeccable timing amongst each other. That were the standout moments for them when these double bombs happens, especially when Kuno was sniping and they had the opportunity to just only have to contest a single scout. Maybe not even that if the gun was down on last and they had NG and Sniper on the field on top 5Sons. The soldier timing was incredible in those situations, but outside of that, flank play-wise, it was very quiet from Aura Elektro.
All right, boys, I'll address the pastor in the room. These scouts were popping off over at Top 5Sons. Did it reflect that in the gameplay, or was it those logs that just sneak up on you?
Well, I think we saw some good stuff like in-game from them. But yeah, there was a little bit sneak up. There was a lot of scrappy fights that are hard to like follow.
Yeah.
And you know, in the end of the day, you have two capable scouts to clean up the damage from War and Everex.
Dum-Tum, usually scouts suffer at LAN just because of those LAN rockets, those LAN pipes. What? We have switched to LAN servers, right? Eh?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still the scout class, and as long as you're playing well yourself, if you're just hitting your shots, you can win out situations most other classes shouldn't be able to win. And if you're Kuno, if you're Sorix, then it's a little bit easier than if you're just your average ETF playing scout.
All right. Well, I know we've got some additional stats back there. Come on, let's see them.
I also want to throw.
There we go. Oh, now these are the stats we always ignore. Anything jumping out about you about these stats in particular?
11 air shots, Everex.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Azuna's health pack stat is very nice. And
Yeah.
I guess it's just in general, like they just relied on health packs a lot more or Elektro, I would say.
It goes to show why we ignore these stats 90% of the time when we've got all the stats there, but once you're kind of forced to address them, it does kind of point out...
This does raise a question that I don't think I ever got answers, which is on Granary, the pipe like inflates airshot counts because it's some weird bug. Does the pipe on Snakewater actually act the same way on second?
Oof.
I'm not sure about that. And
did everyone else hear the X-Files like sound just play in the background there?
You might never know. Otherwise, you know, either Everex is just really that good, or he just really likes shooting people on the pipe, and he knows something we don't.
Yeah, perhaps. Anyway, let's head on over to our final screen. We've got those medic stats, because we've been quiet about the medics all stat long. So this is where the men's get separated from the boys here. So the only thing I see is like maybe what the hell? Biggest advantage loss, 198 seconds. What the hell? What's going on with that?
That doesn't seem very good.
Did he disconnect from the server? Did he walk away? Bathroom break?
But if he like just take that number and then look at deaths with 95 to 99, it's just so many opportunities lost as well, and it's hard to make up for that in so little time at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think maybe it reveals a bit more about how these scorelines kind of came about, because again, those drops on top of those 99 to 95% things that have dropped. Hey, were you okay? So with that means our stats are over. We're probably going to be heading back to our casters, who are going to be casting into the second game, which is a map I completely forget. Gully, well done. This is why we keep you analysts. All right, I've been TurboTabs. With me has been Alba. Dum-Tum will still be here once the game is finished. We'll head on over to eepily and Adysky.
Hello again, we are back. I'm still eepily, this is still Adysky, and yeah, we're going to be going into this second map here on Gully. Now, it's pretty close first map. It's pretty exciting stuff, but Top5Sons just that little bit better. You think Gully's going to make a big difference here for side of Elektro?
I mean, it's Gullywash. This is the demo man map. And who was dominating the last map?
It was War. He was quite good, wasn't he? He was quite good. I picked up on that. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, well, it's pretty good stuff along with his scouts, but I actually think we're just going to be going straight live. Yeah, players just wasting no time at all. So here we go. This is going to be, like we said, Gullywash. This is Top5Sons versus Elektro. This is going to be for the all-important, potentially for the life of Elektro in this competition. War going to be getting a decent bit of damage, but forced back just a little bit. We do have lovely little soldiers trading damage right now. No one quite going down. Everex super weak though, but the first two frags go the way of Elektro, and once again, same as we've seen so many times, but no, disaster! Because War's going to get picked up now. Only 2 scouts and 1 medic remaining, while all 6 players on Elektro are going to surge forward, take at least control a second, and I mean, there's no reason why they can't look to sack at least onto last right now.
I'm pretty sure every single soldier that's connected to the server right now was playing Crown on that mid. I mean, the lower Crown is pretty fine, but we really want to be bombing the enemy team. But it looks like we just have Aura just pushing into last straight away, just being really aggro, trying to take over, control over this last area already without even having second capped.
Yeah, it looks like they really wanted to peek deep and try and get something towards Ombrak, you know, any kind of opportunity. But I mean, your boy is just standing in spawn, so what really can you do? Ultimately, nothing's going to matter too much. It was just frags being traded. Uber's now completely equal, but Elektro's in that comfortable position of knocking on the door of Top5Sons. So They're going to be a little bit in the driving seat here as they're peeking and prodding. You know, Yeehaw's just getting some info towards main. He wants to see exactly what's going on, what's happening with the gun of Sorax. You know, can we take it down nice and easy? Any kind of point plays we can start to think of. You know, you've always got to be wondering where are War's traps, because he's an absolute giga brain when it comes to the traps. So they're never going to be quite where you expect it. We do actually see, yeah, even sticking the front side of point, even actually just getting a scout onto point. Now Nevo somehow living far, far longer than you'd expect.
And as soon as the setup of Pain Train behind the point, no one knows about him.
No, he's just walking in again, and he's actually just standing on it. As soon
It was
as.
such a nice play. I mean, first off, they spammed Opti out of the point and just easily peeking and killing him, you know, just taking his damage one by one, eventually killing him. And then we had a scout, I think it was Nevo, just playing from behind the point, getting some of the cap time. And while that was happening, Azunis just sneaks in through lower and just gets on a point. No one was expecting that.
Nope, I mean, that's the raw power of the Pain Train. It's so, so crucial, and it's getting Elektro just a solid 2-minute round there. So, easy stuff for them, looking good. And Top5Sons are going to be looking for a much, much better mid. You do see Soldiers jumping in. Poison getting the first frag, but trading out and trading out again. Elektro looking pretty good so far this mid. Opti gets that all-important frag towards Eames, but really everything was going the way of them. Other than that one little crispy frag by Everex, picking up demos, so it's not all the way of Elektro, but just mostly.
I really want to say that Aura Soldiers, that mid, were perfectly in sync, and that was one of the best mids I've ever seen. But I don't think you guys saw it, but Azunis was playing from drop down and Poison was bombing at the same time, so both of the scouts were looking at Azunis and Poison had free entry basically. But they can't really contest the second point right now because they didn't have their heals up. They got the cap off, but it's not really gonna matter in the grand scheme.
Oh, they're brave boys. They actually sort of just want to bust all the way through. Nevo committing through now, getting some good damage towards War. Yeah, combining with Yeehaw to actually pick up 2 now, and all of a sudden, this is terrifying for top 5. They're all above point, they're getting picked up one after another, and suddenly, it's just Opti and Lobby. Look, he's dead as well. There's surely no spawns at all. This might just be a second easy round for Elektro with a perfect repush.
Does Nevo have like an invisibility cloak? He literally just walked through choke full of sticky bones and he was just hiding behind a rock and no one was shooting him, but everyone saw him go there. And then he just comes out, kills War, and his team pushes in. What was that?
I don't get it, right? I don't get it. You know, they've got to be able to lock down these choke points. You can't just let people repush in for free, but it just seemed like, I don't know, maybe Top5Sons were just a little bit too kind of interested in playing the Uber. They forgot about the rest of the game, but rounds to Elektro looking good, and Everex is getting aggressive, gets some decent damage, and the follow-up from Opti's looking good now as well. Picks up Azunis and Poison, so this is good, and even with Opti all the way behind, this is looking absolutely exceptional for Top5Sons, and Opti, absolute perfect jump, takes down demos, and they're just following up one after another. The only saving grace, really, I mean, Yeehaw has picked up a couple frags, and he actually might even want some more. He's got 2 scouts to do. Surely he doesn't get it, and he won't.
He literally just walked into a team full of players, but it looks like top 5 is pretty good at starting to adapt to mids that Aura is whipping out of the textbooks. And, you know, being 2 rounds down 5 minutes into the game, it really hits you hard. You really have to change something about your gameplay, and now pushing into last with full Uber advantage, I think they're just gonna regroup and push straight away.
Yeah, I feel like it makes a lot of sense. You know, you don't want to wait too long. This Uber is being built on the side of demos. You know, they're going to be set up in a fairly solid way. You know, these teams they know how to hold last. They know exactly kind of what their idea will be. So we are seeing the Uber come in now. A lot of damage taking down this gun. Not quite picking up this pyro, but we are getting the scout jumping all the way behind point. All importantly, trying to get onto this demo. Kunu doing really good work. He picks up Azunis, and actually Eames is getting super weak now, and Sorax is on the follow-up, but Poison getting some decent damage in again. Kunu just trying to play for this repush a little bit. We have players from Top5Sons on each side. It's the scouts who should be in such a good position here. Oh, this is so close to being perfect. Kunu now going in super deep, but the Uber's getting used. Demos saving his heavy, and Kunu and just Ombrak have to scarper away. I mean, they might just about make it out here. Yeah, it looks like the Soldier can't really follow up. So, I mean, worst case scenario, they've still got themselves a nice sizable advantage.
That was a very nice start of a push. I mean, just getting the top right control area, getting the gun down, and then rushing the scout underneath, killing the, you know, Soldier and demo, or at least scaring them off from holding that water area. But something went wrong. I feel like the heavy didn't get focused down, but now we see another Uber advantage push up trapped on the top right side, and exactly the same thing is happening. Kunu is clearing out the water with Opti, and they're just point with 2 scouts, and it's going to be a round.
Yep, just like that, all they got to do is stand up point, clear those stickies, and that's all that she wrote. So, Top5Sons getting back into it now. 2-1 still lead for Elektro, but, I mean, if they can just get a couple more mids like that, it really seems like this game, it's a case of if one team can have a dominating mid, they can just kind of roll from there.
The last souls are not looking very strong at this point. We've seen 3 really fast rounds, but what's going on mid, eepily?
Well, we're going to see some soldiers just jumping around, not doing a great deal, just trying to take a little bit of position. No one's fully willing to commit just yet. Opti, he will be the first frag. Poison and Eames getting immediately traded though, so that's good stuff. Everex with a really, really nice bomb. Oh, picking up Azunas, getting so much damage towards, once again, a medic and both scouts trying to get charioted away. And there's 5 players from Top5Sons. They want to chase. They really want to, but they're just not quite fast enough. It's actually really interesting because the Aura Elektro scouts, they kind of want to peek a little bit towards second. They've not really got the spam to do anything too much. Poison's actually all the way towards last, picking up Everex, so it's going to be good. They're going to deny that little bit of a flank, and yeah, they will have to give up second for the time being, but the repush could potentially be on here towards top. War doesn't really have any stickies towards Shutter now. Looks like they've been peeking and prodding us a little bit too much, but the Ashes going all the way main. Uber's getting used, 2 frags, super easy. War's just jumping straight to point, taking front side. It should be so good. Uber's got used now on Elektro, and they're just getting to point in time. They're going to be picking up War and Kuni, possibly another now. Yep, Sorks will be down. We'd actually see Opti behind point once again, so Elektro is going to be pretty scared about pushing, but he'll get cleaned up. Really, really good effort from Top5Sons, but Elektro, they're just too quick.
You know, when you're holding that second point and you see a blob of red players up on top, you really want to push that shutter door and Uber in and just run to last, but the timing almost never works. You have to be super precise with your timings. You have to have 2 scouts ready just to go straight for the point. And it barely ever works. I mean, that was a really nice try because I don't think Eames was ready to, sticky up the shutter because he was actually up top with his team when they were pushing out, but it was very unlucky for Top5Sons. And now they're holding with equal Ubers, got teleported back from second to middle, so it makes their life a little bit harder.
Just a little bit, yeah, but it isn't too bad. There wasn't anything super disastrous. We do see Top5Sons just getting a little bit aggressive towards the flank. Sorax, he does try and run in, but he's going to get cleaned up. Looks like he wasn't quite welcome where he was. Poison, though, jumping from underneath. He's actually getting up immediately. Oh, he just doesn't get the angle, though. Just jumped a little bit too fast, wasn't quite aware of what was going on, and sometimes geometry is just your enemy. So 1 player down each. We have seen, Everex just jumping in, so clean, getting this nice force onto Demos, and even the juggle from some of these stickies, just keeping Demos away from committing to this choke point. Yeehaw as well, having to back up, so now we've got, it's an equal player situation, but there's a huge Uber advantage from Ombrak, and I think they're just going to look to try and walk in for free here.
Top5Sons is just so good at instantly when Demos uses his Uber, all of Top5Sons just instantly goes into this bunker mode where they're all grouped up around their medic and just running back. And that's so good because now they're taking second for free and they're pushing into us with 50% ad. It's probably just gonna be they're going to main with War and Kunu. Gun's only level 2 with the Pyro on top of it. Pyro's not going down, but the sentry gun goes down, and now the heavy comes out of the spawn. That's the one thing that you want to be able to focus down before your Uber fades, but on top of the Aura soldiers going down, anything can happen, so.
Yeah, it's really scary. I mean, those soldiers have gone down. There's so many actually towards spawn now. They're going to have to deal with these stickies on point. We still have a scout behind in the form of Yeehaw, but Demos is going to be getting his Uber. He's going to be using now. There's going to clean up a couple quick frags. I mean, it's not kind of everything said and done just yet, but it does look like that will be a hold from Aura Elektro, but same situation again. Top5Sons, they've got this Uber advantage. They're about 70% now. If Aura want to do something based off this 1 pick, they kind of need to go right now. They're peeking almost as if they want to, but the second they recognize the Top5s is set up too well, they're just like, guys, we got to back up. We can't really afford to do this. We can't afford to walk into an Uber. We need to just chill. Eames just only setting up on point, so maybe if Top5Sons were just a little bit faster, they could have caught him just a little bit unawares, and maybe on another day, but he was going to get used now. War walking in right-hand side along with Everex. They're getting some decent damage, some decent time towards point. Stick's going to get dead, and the combined power of Poison and Eames going to be taking out these guys towards point. Opti once again with his pain train. That's a lot of cap time, but it's not going to be enough. Looks like this hold's just going to keep on going. War and Ombrak backing all the way out to second. and just trying to keep away from these jumping soldiers.
War was just barely basically robbed out of 2 frags on the top right. Pyro gets out with like 10 health. The heavy's just getting pumped with arrows as he's shooting. You know, sometimes you just see a heavy and you're like, I'm just gonna kill this guy, but then he eats like 3 arrows in a row and that's not happening. But we see Uber coming out into mid from Aura. Victor, not really much.
No, it's nothing too
Not
crazy.
really much with that.
Yes, it seemed like Eames kind of wanted to jump. Once again, his sticky gets shot away from him, so, you know, at least they managed to keep them outside the choke point. They managed to take down Opti, so if there's an immediate repush in the hands of War and Everex, it's going to have to be without their second soldier just for the moment.
But they're rotating Victor with the beat.
Ah, so it might be a case of War's just feeling like a little bit of a jump. They have kind of telegraphed this. They've just been a bit like, hello, boys, right? We're going to jump in a second if you want. He's actually just going to be even more patient than that, just kind of slowly walking up. He's now going to keep walking this. Really greedy, actually. They want to walk all the way through without using it. Actually, it does look like Aura's almost a little bit content to let them have that, not even jumping anyone that deep. I think they were just as confused as I was.
That was actually a pretty smart play from top 5, because they were just faking, you know, using their Uber aggro, because that's what you usually do when you go to Victor. You want to just jump in your demo. And Aura got so scared that they just instantly bailed into their choke, and then their choke area is just free for taken. And now we see an Uber trade. Kunu gets unluckily dropped, so they have to retreat till mid.
Not exactly great, and honestly, if they can't lock this choke point, that's going to be pretty scary. War towards his elbow. It's almost a good situation, but he's going to get cleaned up along with Everex now, so this is really, really scary if you're Top5Sons. Opti's all the way behind the rest of the combo. No one's able to help you, buddy. Absolutely nothing that can really be done there, and that's just kind of, yeah. That trade went all the way of Aura Elektro, and they can kind of start looking to move towards second now. No reason why they couldn't cap that and maybe start peeking towards last a little bit.
What that looked like was that just Top5Sons didn't really count their Ubers really well, because it just looked like a, you know, usual double scout Uber into basically a chase mode, but they ended up hitting a brick wall called the enemy Uber, and they just got completely rolled. And War was also completely out of position in the elbow area, just getting absolutely mulched by the Aura players. And now Aura 1 round up, 16 minutes left. They're more than confident in, you know, holding this second and lobby area. And Top5Sons just have to retreat all the way back to Las and set up there. But Kunu's up on a sniper, so you know how that's gonna go.
Yeah, well, you know, he was saying earlier that in the game versus a set NA, he was kind of popping off. You know, people didn't always see it and it didn't always lead to frags, but he was hitting some shots. So I mean, you know, here you go, buddy. Here's an opportunity. Show us exactly why you're known as the sniper main. He's gonna be just playing pretty defensive towards last right now, just kind of peeking between river and main and top right, and, you know, these different angles. We do see a soldier jumping in. Azunis, though, not really able to deal any damage before getting taken down by that sentry, so, you know, he gave it a go, and I feel like we might be seeing some kind of off-class on the side of Aura Elektro, possibly a spy or something along those lines. It's really difficult to deal with getting onto this last when you've got this kind of position where the medic's holding forward, you've got this gun set up, you've got everyone kind of playing forward, especially with stickies towards river. It's really hard to get in.
So the first thing you definitely want to do is get rid of the gun. That opens up so many possibilities, right? You can start playing point, you can start playing river aggressively, you can start playing shadow more aggressively, but there are really no spam angles other than river, and if you peek river, there's that sniper danger, right, from top left area. So it's very, very difficult to do anything without doing any off classes. So we'll see how Aura is gonna take this, but from the looks of it, they're just looking for an opening with their soldiers where they can spam the gun potentially. But I really want to see some off classes from Aura. Maybe whip how the spy. You know, at the LAN people don't really have ears. there is a lot of there is a lot of background noise. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't look like Aura's going to be in a position to really want to do that. Kunu actually did go to spy a second ago just to check some classes just in case, but you know, looks like you know, credit to top 5, they're kind of keeping an eye on the situation, but Aura Elektro is just perfectly happy to kind of keep poking and prodding with some of their soldiers. And I mean, in fairness to them, they are round up. They don't technically have to do anything at this point. They could just wait around forever. As much as that wouldn't be the most exciting thing, that is an option. Really, you almost want to think Top5Sons might want to get a bit more aggressive with their sniper, or actually Kunu's back to scout, so possibly he might just go for one of these kind of, you know, run out through main and try and wing a jump up top, but It's going to be Nevo peeking towards lower, all picking up Opti now with Poison, getting aggressive now, getting a little bit of cap time. They're forcing all these top 5 players to look in every which direction. Uber's actually getting used now by Ombrak, and once again, Eames and Demos, they're so far back. There's no reason why they should have to use it. Only really Everex is jumping in now, but he's going to get easily piped by Eames. Really nice coordinated play from Elektro, and they might just be able to walk in all the way from River now. It looks like they're just perfectly happy to. The headshot though from Kunu, ripping the head off of Eames. That's really nice. Is it going to be too little though? The 3 shots from Yeehorn to War, hitting every single one, is going to be everything they need. Standing on point and securing a 3rd round.
And as I was saying, that this last push is really tough to break. Aura seem to have, you know, kind of broke it themselves in a different way. They're really good at getting Opti off of the high ground, even killing him twice now, and that's what got them 2 rounds, where they just kill Opti somehow from River, and then they just play super aggressively onto the point with everything. The first round, they just got the cap straight away, and the second round, they got the force off.
Definitely looks like it's working. I really feel like Opti's getting the most out of his pain train, but in terms of this mid, Azunis the first casualty, all of it like a few seconds in, and it might just be a case that Elektro's like, nah, we've not really got any initiation now. I feel like that's an issue. Whenever you use a soldier really early, especially on Gully, it can be so powerful for soldier, but when you lose that source of initiation, it can be really hard.
If you lose any class before basically the rest of your entire team can actually get to last, I mean mid, what am I going to say? If you lose a person before you get to mid, that's basically mid done, because you really don't want to take that 5v6, you know, just coming into a fresh game, and especially if we are 2 rounds up, you really don't want to play risky. I think Aura is just going to be really happy just holding onto the second point with the usual hold, where I like to call it a 7 hold, you know, where Eames is playing big door with its nice little track, watching the big door.
Just standing there, ready to spam anyone who dares come into his territory, and it looks like many people dare. So they're going to be trying to walk a little bit. Everex and Opti both trying to sync up some rockets. We do have Nevo sniping this time from big door. He has been spotted. Uber's actually coming all the way through choke and actually catching out Poison. The headshot ringing out on Zorx is going to make this just a little bit more palatable for the side of Elektro. But my god, there's just so many scrappy fights. It looks like Everex versus Azunis. Azunis just about winning here, but actually it's the fight on choke right now, which is the scary one. Kunu gets taken down though, and it's going to be Opti, War, and Omrak trying to back out now. It's only really about 4 versus 3 at this point. Actually, no, there's more spawners coming up now, and the deep bombs from the soldiers. They might be looking pretty good. Not really securing these frags though. A little bit aware of how weak some of these Aura players are. It's quite scary, but ultimately...
1 health, getting barely arrowed. But they're just playing so aggressively. They just keep on walking forward, and they don't care. They're just pushing on low health.
Absolutely doesn't matter at all. I feel like there was a world there where really they could have just got absolutely kind of nuked in that choke point, but I mean, War gets taken down, then another one, and now there's 2 seconds left to go before any of these fresh spawners are up. So really, Elektro has every right to start moving towards second, but the solo Uber, oh my lord, we're seeing an AMS Uber, but this time it's Kunu. So gonna be forcing up that bit of a trade. Flashes from each side. Opti, he's staying in just a little bit, buddy. There's Uber boys everywhere. You can't really afford to do that, so he's losing his life. Azunis is trying to get onto War. Just about might escape with his life. Oh, it was almost a crispy little escape, but it's not really going to happen. And Zorx has no interest in letting these Aura players get towards the second point. He's actually just going to keep on going. The beam just about getting disconnected from him, but he's just going to single-handedly force the rest of his team out. Like, no, get out. We have no interest in letting you in here. They can possibly keep on moving forward. The stacking of mid, it's not going to be enough. Azunis will spawn, so it will be a 6v6. It is going to be an equal Uber, but a nice hold from top 5.
Yeah, that second hold there, I mean, it was a really smart play too, because top 5 calculated the spawners better than Aura did. Basically, they Uber traded, fell back, and then by the time that the Uber was over, they had all 6 ready to basically go. Now we see Everex and Opti just jumping to get into choke force off, but really? Players to get the force off.
Oh my god, War's actually just trying to full commit here. He's trying to get these stickies towards, but they're dodging. Oh, Demo's not quite able to dodge hard enough, and actually, there's actually going to be a flank now. There's so many players. Aura's actually crushing the entirety of Top5Sons. That was an absolute disaster. They were so aggressive in that choke point, thinking, yeah, we'll 4v6, we got the Uber. Turns out the flank just came in, and Elektro just completely wipes them.
That's a disaster. That's one thing you don't want to do when you suck in two players. You really don't want to stay forward and take a, you know, the 4v6 fight, because you might get the medic kill if you focus him down. You might get like maybe 2 frags, but your players are definitely gonna be weak at the end of the Uber trade, and then you're just gonna end up in a disadvantageous fight, and that's exactly what happened. They got wiped.
Yeah.
It's 8 minutes, 30 seconds left. 2 rounds up for Aura, and they're holding on to mid.
It seems like we might end up in a similar situation to last game, where this time it's going to be Top5Sons starting to think a little bit about that clock, maybe letting that dictate the pace of things a bit. Evrex, he will be under point. He's going to be jumping up, getting a nice rocket towards the demo here, but not quite cleaning him up. Wall's going to be taken down, pausing, no, so trading frags, and actually just going to be fighting directly onto mid. The damage from Azunis's bomb, really, really crisp. It's actually just... Oh my god, this is so bad. That Uber's just a bit of a disaster. And Geekhor, he doesn't even want to let them get out right now. Surely that's too aggressive. Surely Scout class is not quite that good. Not today. War might even be getting cleaned up here. Yeah, the sticky's perfectly positioned by Eames. Oh, this is really, really scary right now for the Top5Sons. They've got players down, really, I mean, War's down for another 10 seconds, or could possibly go for a point play here. I think they're a little bit too slow, and I think exactly what you said earlier, Adysky. I feel like maybe in another world where it was equal, they would try and go a bit more aggressive, but at this point, I think they're happy just to let their round advantage kind of, you know, keep allowing them to play just that little bit slower.
Definitely, and from what I noticed 3 times in a row now that Umbrak and just Top5Sons in general, they drop 3 players before they use the Uber, and then the after Uber fight is what basically matters when you're doing team fights. It's not about how long you can milk your Uber, it's about how many players you can save, but Top5Sons seem to be just pushing out like that, but Aura is not giving up yet.
No, absolutely not at all. So Evrex has already gone down. The Uber's been used much earlier by Umbrak. This Demo's Uber might be a little bit able to chase right now all the way towards lobby. It looks like they're going to try and focus Umbrak, but actually he's managed to get out relatively safely. It looks like Elektro is happy to pick up just a couple frags there. Opti's going to be down for a little bit, and again, they could go last if they wanted to, but I don't think they do. They're just going to keep on building this Uber, and this is technically an opportunity now. There's no Ubers, so an off-Uber push can be on the cards for the side of Top5Sons. They're trying to move towards top. They're taking so much damage from the soldier in the drag spot. It's already hard, though. Kuno and Everett, they're just getting taken down. They're going to have to back all the way down to last now, Top5Sons, and they've got so many players down. It's going to be Nevo just running straight to point now. He's going to distract the entirety of the combo, trying to get some shots towards Opti, and the rest of the team's just absolutely flooding through. There's no way that Top5Sons is going to hold this. And it's going to be 4-1 now for Elektro, and it's really, really scary if you're Top5Sons.
I mean, I definitely get it that we are really being pushed by the clock, but 6 minutes for 2 rounds, it's still, there's still room to basically work with. You don't need to be pushing out of last without even having Uber and on the 6v6 situation. It's just something very difficult, and it's maybe 10% that it's actually going to work out.
I mean, definitely, yeah, 10%. It's not really something worth committing to, but now they've got to commit to even less than that, really. Top5Sons kind of need to just win everything from now on. Opti getting these 2 rockets towards Demos. That's going to be a good start to this mid, but as soon as he takes him down, Umbrak's dying as well. Everex and Opti as well. Nothing really they can do. There's so many weak players. War and Sorax just about managing to escape. I mean, they pick up Poison now, and, you know, in all of that kind of catastrophic fighting here and there, Demos did die, but really at this point, I feel like if you're Aura, you're fine to have equal Ubers. You don't really want Uber advantage. You don't really care about pushing last anymore. You just want to keep on delaying the clock till these 5 minutes are over and you secure this map.
And now Aura knows that Top5Sons are going to be pushing into mid, and they're perfectly set up for that. You have sticky traps everywhere in choke. You have people watching Big Door. And I feel like this is just going to be mulching in the blue, in the blue Big Door. We see both of these blue soldiers jump in and just get instantly denied.
Yeah, they're just going to get pounded a little bit now, and Kunu just a little bit away from the rest of his team. War as well. They're getting some decent damage, actually. They've turned this somehow into a 3 versus 3. It might be just about a chance if War can get some big old damage. He's actually looking behind, not quite sure of where some of these Elektro players are, and maybe there was a bit of a chance there. Missed just from a bit of miscoordination, but I mean, you know, War doesn't have time to think about that. He's kind of just got to keep on moving forward. The Uber advantage doesn't really matter. You can see him physically calling for his team. Guys, we've got to keep on going. If this is the trade, so be it. It doesn't really matter. Uber's now getting used. Demos just a little bit better. So it's about 30% better Uber. And War's going to be jumping up top. He's going to provide at least bare minimum a distraction. But how quickly is he going to get cleaned up? It looks like it's going to be too much for his team. Opti does jump in. He manages to pick up Demos. But the rest of the players, they're not really able to do anything. It's just Kunu all by himself. He's getting cleaned up as well. And this is going to be so difficult now for Top5Sons to get into this.
It's very difficult for Top5Sons, and you're basically just you could be praising, you could be asking way too much if you wanted to do a Uber trade through Big Door and actually looking for success, right? I mean, War jumping behind trying to do a distraction for his team, that was very smart, but it's very difficult to go through that Big Door area if you're not Ubered. You're just gonna instantly eat like 200 damage. But what can they do? It's 3 minutes left, it's 3 rounds, so they keep pushing forward into mid as well.
Yeah.
Everett's getting picked by a trap, but it looks like Aura is just ready. That they're just gonna get put.
They know. Absolutely, the meat grinder is in full swing. They're like, yeah, we'll have you, we'll have the next one, we'll have the next one, whatever. Once again, we're only in a chariot position. I mean, I feel like at this point, the only real opportunity Top5Sons have is to just build their Uber like madmen and then just do like a chariot Uber all the way through main and hope to God somehow you can like double meat shot Demos or something along those lines. With 2 minutes 40, it is just absolute desperation. You've got to go for it though, right? You've always got to go for it. We've seen like the TCM games. Everyone's seen the old games back in the day. You know it should technically be possible somewhere in some world, so you've just got to go for it.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're going for the trade on Everex through Lobby, and actually the first rocket did like 500 damage. The Aura guys were so grouped up, and the trade is looking so good, but you know, we are getting towards the end of the Uber trade, and it looks like Top5Sons are actually getting on top of that.
Yeah, a lot of success actually. It's only Demos getting out all the way towards drop down. Oh, he just about manages not to surf that pipe up, and War's just going to 2-pipe him. Thankfully, Yeehaw's going to be doing pretty good work picking up War, but before he gets taken down himself. So this is going to be just Nevo on the side of Elektro. Top5Sons at least maybe able to get some kind of sympathy round. The spawners are coming in. Ebrex has done some decent damage, at least getting a little bit for his logs. But the rest of his team's not really anywhere near. I believe he has a scout point, but ooh, these directs, they're starting to work. I mean, you've got to keep on going anyway. Why not just keep it?
Yeah,
Off you go.
Mean, by this time, it's definitely garbage time, but maybe Top5Sons still want to prove that they can get a couple of rounds towards the end of the game, at least make the score line, you know.
4-2, 4-2. There's a certain
4-2,
symmetry to it.
4-2 sounds better than 4-1, you know.
Exactly. So we have this Uber again, looking towards River. Eames just about staying up on point once again. We see this Pyro gun, same position as we were in last time. Gun's not quite going down. These stickies picking up Kunu nice and easy. He's going to make things a little bit more difficult. Top 5 not really finding a way in. Only now are they taking down Eames, and it is a very much 5 versus 4 at this point. War is trying to get some stickies down, but not really hitting that all-important damage. Getting a nice little bit on that soldier and trading with poison. Azunis, oh my God, actually somehow it looks like they might possibly just commit. Yeah, come on boys, you just got to go in. It doesn't matter if it's a heavy, just go through, commit, try and focus down these players. Just do it.
You can do it with you about it, but Umbra gets in through water. He's on a solo mission on his own.
The brain play. Nah, it's not going to work at all. Uber's going to get used, and the heavy main Nevo's just going to be taken down one after another. So 30 seconds left in the game. You know, usually I'm the first guy to say it's going to be a TCM, but I think at this point even I must concede, not actually possible for Top5Sons to get back into this one.
I don't think they can get 3 rounds in 15 seconds.
I don't think so either, right? And yet, no. That's going to be it. So this will be Elektro tying it up in terms of maps, and it looks like we're going to be going to, of all things, Product.
The Decider.
Woo! That was a nice air shot.
That was a nice air shot.
That's a classy way to end the game. I'm liking that one. Good old Everex.
Good old Everex getting air shot towards the logs. You know, he got 11 air shots last game. He wanted to show off on a screen for the one last time on this map as well.
Yeah.
And Product coming up next, you know. Many snipers on these teams.
That's going to be interesting.
Snipers, and I'm so looking forward to people basically sniping left and right.
Yeah, I mean, we did see in the game versus Ascent and A, I believe we saw Everex play a lot of Scout when Kunu's been sniping, so we might see the same kind of situation. Obviously, they were just fractionally outclassed in that game, I feel. However, against these kind of opponents, it's a very different kind of team. Maybe they'll be able to find just a little bit more success in it. It's definitely going to be interesting. I feel like product on LAN is always really exciting, right? Because like obviously it's Koth, so you can't really afford to like have a break at any point, right? It's like all go all the time, and then at the LAN environment, it kind of brings up the energy even more.
Right. But what I'm looking forward to as well, other than the snipers, are definitely going to be the duo of Azunis and Poison. It's just going to be my call that they're going to be doing some great things together on that map.
Well,
For Aura.
I think it's going to be interesting. Definitely looking forward to going to a third map in this best of 3. But I mean, for the time being, we've got to take a moment just to talk over a little bit what happened on Gullywash here and how we've seen basically a mirror of what just happened. So we're going to be throwing it back to our desk, boys. We've still got Dumptum, still got Alba looking classy, and Turbo giving me tinnitus with his shirt. Boys, over to you.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Anyway, welcome back to the analyst desk here. We're going to talk about that Gullywash game because, boys, what happened at that Gullywash game? We've actually been pushed to a third map. Hey, that's pretty exciting, but that means it's going to Product, which isn't good for Top5Sons. Oh, boo, boo.
Yeah, it was like almost an upgrade in every way for our Elektro. They were stepped up in almost every way. There was still a mild issue of them being like too passive in situations where maybe they shouldn't. Especially in the mid fights, they were like forced into corners very, very early on and had to like fight out of the corner a lot of the time on mid. But in the grand scheme of things, they were much improved in all regards. Top 5 harnessed back to something I heard Everx describe his team as at the beginning of last TF2 season, which is always trying to create fights, always trying to keep up fights as long as possible, and never have situations die down where you could be doing something instead. A lot of aggressive play came out, a lot of like surprise pushes and stuff like that coming out of Top5Sons, and Aura has been handling it a lot better than last map. They still obviously got away with quite a few of those, but they always were able to bounce back on Aura.
All right, Albert, before I get any sort of lovely honeyed word from you, let's get those logs on the screen, because that's what we're really here for. We're here to list off numbers on a stream. So, have you got any sort of opinions before we go into these logs? Allow Dumtum to kind of print off the information into his head.
I mean, I was just, after watching that game, you could really see that Eames, Yeehaw, and Nevo were doing well. I mean, even though Nevo is in the bottom of the damage spectrum, he's still like 19 for 8, which is a really good KD. Yeehaw with 28-7, also really good KD. So it feels like Eames and Yeehaw specifically really stepped up, and you see Azunis and Poison also doing really well in this match.
Yeah. Is it just players stepping up here, Dum, or is it a case of these scouts over on Top5Sons kind of being neutralized a little bit? They were having a great game that first map, but now going into this Gullywash, they really had a bad game, it looks like.
Yeah, not even just Kuno and Sorix were a lot more quiet on this map. Also Opti, who had like a really aggressive presence last map, just didn't nearly get as much done as his counterparts and compared to himself just one map ago. So a stark contrast here with their performance from one map to another, and going to Product, that will be interesting because as far as I remember, Sons, the team that is this like original incarnation of Top5Sons and Elektro played against each other on Product during the regular season. The first map was Sunshine, which was a little bit of a weird game, but Sons came up on top. Elektro, on the other hand, took Product and ran away with it completely. We saw Top5Sons play Product already. It wasn't too pretty. Granted, opposition might have been stronger, arguably, but at the end of the day, Aura is still really good over the time, has gotten really good over time on Product. It's going to be a tough one, I think, for Top5Sons here.
All right, boys. There's no doubt in my mind that Top5Sons have been doing their homework, looking back at the logs and also the STVs to make sure what they were doing wrong on Product. I'm going to let you digest that information and think about it for your next prediction going into this match. Who's going to win this Product map?
Aura.
Aura.
I said it Web 1, I'm saying it again, Aura.
Aura. Okay, boys, we're going to Product, and it's going to be an Aura match. Do you agree, eepily, Adysky?
I don't know. I think it's really difficult to say. Like, we've seen really good stuff from the scouts on both sides, and obviously this is such a scout-centric map. Like, kind of first map to second, it seems kind of, you know, like a mirror image. It feels difficult. It feels difficult to predict, right? Like, I don't know if I'd be confident saying, like, Aura. What are you thinking?
I'm exactly not sure either. I mean, you've got a powerhouse of Sorix and Kunu on one side, and
yeah,
then you have the DM god, the absolute DM god, the Yeehaw on the other team. But Sorex was very dominant the first map, I feel like.
He was. I mean, it's weird, right? I think, was that like 28-7 with Yeehor second year? That's crazy. We have seen Yeehor, I'm pretty sure he dropped about 40 frags in one of the Viaduct games this season. You know, he's incredibly, incredibly good. But I mean, we're kind of living in a world where like all the scouts in Prem are like actually really good. So I feel like you can't really base things just on that.
So
I don't know.
Let's get scouts out of the equation then. Who's gonna be, you know, pulling their team above the enemy team, other than the scouts? So, what do you reckon on the soldiers on both ends? We have Opti and Everex. You know, Everex has been hitting massive air shots all the way around. He's got 11 air shots first map. Then he got a couple nice ones on Gullywash as well. But on the other side, we have the fearful combo of Poison and Azunis.
Yeah.
So much.
It's really
stuff
interesting.
together.
Like, Azunis and Poison, they've been super, super well coordinated, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like a lot of their success has been like kind of timing and coordination, whereas I feel like the top 5 soldiers might just be able to DM it a little bit more, right? We've seen crazy shots being hit, like you said, kind of by Everex and by Opti as well, and honestly, they kind of don't really even need to play with 2 soldiers on the side of top 5. I think one of the biggest things is going to be the fact that top 5, you know, they kind of got mulched on stream, you know, playing this map just yesterday. They might just be kind of, you know, thinking more than anything, we want to show people that actually we are really good at this map, you know. We had one bad game against a really good opponent, but actually we have every ability to play this map with some of the best teams out there. So it might just be a case of, you know, they're more thinking along those lines. And I did hear some story somewhere that apparently War really, really likes, he really likes Viaduct, and he kind of, you know, really thinks he has a firm understanding of how you play it.
Yeah, that's another thing I was about to say. I'm pretty sure that, at least in my opinion, War is going to come out on top from Eames. We've seen it on map number 1. I'm pretty sure we've seen it on map number 2. I mean, they lost the second map, but War was still doing a lot of good damage for his team. But yeah, it can be anyone's map.
Okay.
I feel like it's anything can happen. Like, it's gonna come down to these flashy plays from either of the teams. It's definitely gonna be Aura's soldiers, or it's gonna be Kunu's scout. But it looks like we'll be going live in a second, eepily.
Yeah, I'm going to make a bold prediction and say, you know, I'm going to ignore the desk entirely. I think this will be a top 5-Sons. Just to keep it interesting, that's going to be my prediction here on King of the Hill Product. This is, like we said, Koth map, all important. You can't afford to waste any time here at all. Literally every second counts, and it's very easy to make mistakes in that regards.
Yeah. And
yeah,
it looks like we're still waiting on someone to ready up.
Yes, no, I believe all the players, you know, they're just taking a little moment. I feel like, you know, they might just be like a little bit shaky. They're just taking a second, you know, just to get like a little drink, you know, just to make sure everything's like happy, you know, use the facilities every now and then. It should be fine. So I'm going to say top 5-Sons. Adysky, are you going to say Elektro just to like, you know, go against me, just to make this interesting?
I was with top 5-Sons at the start, and I feel like they're going to take it away on this map as well. Unless Azunis and Poison are going to do something absolutely incredible, I think they're going to take it away.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is the casting desk says top 5. The analyst desk over there says Aura. So we're going to see who's smarter.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited for this game to get started. I'm not quite sure.
If we end up being the smarter duo, then we are going to swap over to the analyst.
Yeah. We'll actually steal their desk. We'll steal their headsets and everything. They'll be like banished into like the crowd or something, you know?
I mean, I'm comfy in this chair.
Yeah? We'll move the chairs over, mate. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll be absolutely fine. It'll be all good.
Sure.
Okay, so we've talked about, I think, really everyone apart from the medic situation. I mean, you know, just as they're readying up, maybe some quick thoughts about Ombrak compared to demos. It feels like overall today it's been just a little bit easier to get forces down to Ombrak. It feels like demo's been really well positioned by his team.
You know, medic class, you can't really judge medic's individual performance because it's all about how the team plays together, right? Like, your medic is being left alone, then you can't really help that as a medic. If you're just alone by yourself, then of course you're gonna get forced if there are people not playing around you and stuff. I feel like mechanically both of the medics are very equal to each other, but in terms of team play and stuff, I mean, Aura has been together for ages.
Yeah, you would expect a little bit more of like they kind of know each other's play styles a bit, but actually, right, well, we're going to find out now. This is going to be the last game of our best of 3 top 5-Sons versus or Elektro. I believe we're just about to start here on this game. We're going to see them start rolling out here on Viaduct. First thing we see is Eunice jumping nice and high and all the way behind, but the rest of Top5Sons, they don't really care. They can try and move forward, but they're getting forced so far back now by Poison. Real significant frags. Really, a couple of these top 5 players have gone down. Poison now jumping nice and deep, getting some rockets. Quite actually connecting, and now it's Top5Sons able just to walk forward and forward and forward. Yeehaw! And Eames and Demos move back all the way. Actually, no. Eames was even a spawner, so nowhere near. First mid can be going to Top5Sons.
Poison was just so... He was literally staring at Umbrak through the wall the entire mid, and he really didn't want to push that tunnel. I don't know, it felt like there was a force field in front of him. It was giving me a little bit of anxiety.
He was like, I want to, but just not yet.
I can't, no.
Not yet, but...
The Uber comes out from both of the teams.
Yeah, it's going to be a cheeky little trade now, but the follow-up, oh, perfectly timed damage here. Actually taking down War and Everex as soon as these Ubers are fading. Really, really nice. Opti now is going to be on the backline, trying to make the best out of a bad situation. Aura has just about recapped here, but Opti's going to be against 2 scouts now, and he's not really going to be able to keep on trucking through there, so... You see Aura Elektro in a kind of quasi-fort hold at this point. You see Azunis close towards main. Looks like the rest of Aura Elektro might just about be getting forward now, so they're going to be in a decent middle position. It's nice to see them kind of go aggressive when they're not quite ready, just to, you know, buy them some of that time. Kunu, though, he's smart. He knows how this works. You always get a pyro, you try and go through, and these rockets now from Everex. Oh, just about not getting demos, and oh! Just about goes down to Opti, so this is going to be really, really crucial. Umbrak did live through all of that. It was basically a 4-man sack, but on Viaduct, you can afford to do that.
You really just have to play around the respawn waves, but it was so smart from Opti because the rest of his team was, you know, drawing all of the attention on the far left-hand side. It just looked like they're going to try pushing to them with the pyro. It's trying to air blast it their way through, but then Opti turned it into a great sack on Demos, and now they're pushing into mid with full Uber advantage. Yeah,
obviously the best case scenario now for War and his gang of gamers would be not having to use here, but already losing Kunu. It's not a great start to things. It might be a case that he just have to jump forward, and yep, War's recognized that, but no, he's going to get completely denied by the air shot from the soldier there. And actually, he might even be able to get out. That's so crazy. Azunis now on a bit of a follow. He goes for the shot, he hits it! What a huge air shot from Azunis!
That was absolutely massive. But also, no kills. Absolutely no kills for Top5Sons and the entire Uber there. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, it's really not a great Uber when you lose a player and then you try and go forward, don't really achieve anything. Or Elektro is going to be ticking down the clock now. They have their own Uber, 1 minute 10 left on the clock. It's pretty scary. We might see a bit of a sack wave. Yep, everyone's going to be jumping in. Actually, the Uber's going to get used. Eames jumping forward just about doesn't catch out the medic here, so it's going to be people just backing out towards last on the side of Top5Sons, building up their own Uber, 80% now. Nothing too bad. Only Poison went down for Aura Elektro, so it's not the worst thing ever, and it seems like they do want to commit just a little bit further forward, at least get some info for where Top5Sons are going to be going from.
Walk is looking so dire for the guys over at Top5Sons. They're pushing now with another take with this Uber advantage push, and they really don't want to use their Uber, but they can't really be affording using the players. But it looks like they're going to be given the point for free now, so that's a good thing. Now, I really want to see them play really aggro with this Uber, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're Ubering Kunu right into spawn. They might be getting aims, they actually get aims, but that's everything they're going to do with that Uber.
Yeah, it's really, really hard. Like you said, so much is being played around Ubers right now. And Demos, unfortunately, he was just a little bit too far away. He went straight into spawn. He's going to be getting his own Uber up now. And realistically speaking, if they can somehow free take this, I mean, War and Everex is still actually dead at this point. If Aura can keep on moving forward before these spawners just about get in and they take the point for free, it might just kind of spell curtains for this round really for Top5Sons. It's going to be so hard. Eames taking his position towards point. Opti getting taken down on the flank. It's such a good start here, and you see Top5Sons, they feel like they can't really contest this, you know? It looks like they're trying to build up their own Uber as quickly as they physically can. Then they got to go for one of those dirty trades, send a guy behind it, just kind of hope for the best, really.
That's why you can't be doing these. I mean, you kind of have to when you're being pushed by the clock, but that's why you can't really be doing these aggressive pushes into basically the enemy spawn, because then once you start losing players with your Uber, the respawn timer is gonna hit you hard, respawn waves.
Yeah, it's gonna hit you like a brick, and just like this Uber trade right now, looks like it's going well for Elektro. 3 seconds left on the clock. They've got to start getting on point now. Top5Sons, they have no choice, and Eames is perfectly happy to let that happen, because that means free damage for him and his soldier brothers. or Elektro is going to command this first round here.
So far, it's just been a very clean game for the guys in the red shirts. You know, I still feel like the Soldiers are doing so much work for them. Top5Sons doesn't seem to be that coordinated. We just see Opti solo jumping behind, getting cleaned up by scouts, but Poison and Azunis are instantly, you know, they're going in together at the same time. They're just doing so much work. And we see it again on this mid. Azunis just jumping behind straight away and then getting straight back into Ombrak and actually getting him.
Yeah, that's super, super important, but unfortunately, every other frag went the way of Top5Sons, so Demo will still be alive, but actually this flank is going to be directly behind. Oh, so much damage. Demo's just about living on 20 HP. Sorax, little bit of beef there, and super good dodging from Demo, so actually, they can just keep on pushing now. They can repush all the way onto point. They've got the heals. They've got the Uber just a few seconds time. They can keep control of this point, get the Uber, and then play in another bit of a commanding situation.
You gotta give some credit to Nevo as well. I mean, he had like 3 shots on Opti and then basically 2 shots Sorax as well. But it looks like it's gonna be another sack bait from Top5Sons.
Yeah, they're gonna be jumping in.
Oh, it looked on my screen like Demos is dying, but that was actually Poison doing the get down, Mr. President movement maneuver.
Get down! No, didn't happen at all. Not a force, not really any significant damage toward Demo, so he's going to be keeping a hold of his Uber. Ombrak now 80% as they start trying to move forward a little bit. It's going to be 6 versus 6. It does look like Top5Sons will have to go for some kind of a trade, exact same situation as before. It might be a case that he just wants to take things a little bit aggressive. Ubers are up now, and these stickies taking down Wall. That's significant. The air shots again coming out onto Azunis. Players getting traded, and Ubers, actually not even Ubers getting traded. How did that go so disastrously? Demos once again just never has to use his Uber.
From what I was seeing, Ombrak just used on Kunu and just instantly bailed out of there. I don't know. I don't exactly know what happened, but now Aura is sitting on a point with full Uber advantage again with the more favorable time on the clock as well. It's looking good for them, you know, taking the first round, and now the second one is still looking in so much favor for them.
Yeah, it's looking really, really good. I'll be honest, Adysky, I'm a little bit worried about our prediction. I think we're being made to look stupid, but Evrex is going to try and make us look good as he jumps in, gets this one rocket and nearly the air shot, so forcing off this Uber. He's actually, just about going to get taken down. And it was basically a 4-man sack once again. Ombrak's going to be getting his Uber up, and we do see another opportunity to try and start racking down the time on the clock. We kind of need just really everything Top5Sons are doing. It's kind of working, but just like eventually. Everything they need to do, they need to do it like cleaner.
I really want to see them just using this Uber really aggressive now and then turn it into maybe a forward hold, because the clock is not looking very pretty. But let's be honest.
No, not at all. At least they do manage to pick up Azunis, who did bomb in. A little bit aggressive, trying to force off this Uber, but it seems like once again, Top5Sons, they're so committed to trying to take this point for free each time. It does look like it's working now, so Demos is going to be getting his very, very soon, and this is going to be the real trial now for Top5Sons. They need a really, really good trade here. Undoubtedly, Elektro is going to go in, and they're going to try and take some kind of trade, send someone behind, the same kind of things you always do on Viaduct. They absolutely need to make sure that they keep control of this point and keep their players alive.
Thinking about it, I've yet to see an aggressive Uber from Top5Sons. It always felt like they are either trading, or they get forced, or they're just taking the points for free when they have an advantage. And what you sometimes have to do in product, you really just have to aggro, but gorgeous. Oh, there was actually Eames hitting insane pipes there.
Yeah, didn't even kill the scout though, because it's 2019, he was 185, but it was a nice little display anyway. But I mean, exactly what I said, Top5Sons, they needed a good trade, and it was really good actually. They managed to take down Eames and not lose a single player. When you have those...
Everex with the huge...
Oh, the flank!
Demos.
Oh, that's so good from Everex now. So now there's no heals on Elektro. Now they can play just a little bit more chill on the side of Top5Sons, play together. We might just see a 4-5-man sack, whatever, but they need to be aware of this. Ombrak cannot die here. Everyone's flying in directly in the house, and it's just going to be... Oh my... No! Oh, I thought he was going to get out then. I thought it was going to be so easy for him to escape, but no. The 5 men will eventually get it. They will trade for that one singular medic, but it's kind of all they need. But I mean, it's not really going to be all that bad. Demos is alive, but he only gets about 6 seconds of building Uber, and it is only going to amount to about a 16% Uber advantage. About 20, let's say.
Oh, we see Sniper being used now. Kunu is up on the Sniper.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see whether he can find some real success with that. You know, Elektro, they're just trying to dry push on the point. Oh, the one headshot. That's Kunu hitting it already, being like, all right, boys, this is what you were all missing last time. The flank as well from Opti. He's getting some decent damage. So weak on the demo. He's picking him up as well. Opti's absolutely playing so well, taking up these all-important things, but as always, the clock is the biggest worry, and as a result, you see Kunu, he goes back to spawn, he has to change on the scout. You can't play sniper levels of slow right now. You need to start moving straight towards point. While these hills aren't up, Demo's just only spawning, they need to take point right now.
When the clock is so far down for both of the teams, you have to be very, you know, you have to be cookie cutter. You have to be adapting to what's going on the battlefield as we speak, but now we are just seeing trades left and right. Poison is going down to Sorix. Sorix on 4 HP getting cleaned up by Eames as well. So we see an Uber coming off of Ombrak, and Demos is holding onto his own 50%. So after this bit, Demos is going to be on a 60% ad, and they might just in time be able to build it and do last one push.
Yeah, I think quite possibly. They actually just want to start trying to walk up just based on the fact that they have more players, and looks like Top 5 feel fairly content to give it to them. I'm not sure if that's the best idea. Only 16 seconds left on the clock. That clock is ticking down. Demo is just getting his Uber now, and it's going to be so hard. Aggressive Ubers is going to be the name of the game. Ombrak goes down instantly. We see War on point, surrounded by Invincible Men. He's not going to be long for this world, and it's just going to be the rest of Elektro just playing nice and patient. Azunis, oh, he does hit the Asher. Not the big one, but the nice crispy little one, so it's not going to be too bad. We do see Top5Sons trying to get on the point. They have a lot of cap time, which actually means they can afford to keep playing this just based on their spawners. But if they delay their spawners by capping...
And that's exactly what happens. That's exactly what you don't want to do. You just have to keep getting the overtime in. And now, once they cap the point, Aura's going to get better spawn wave, and they're just going to recap and win the round.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've really got to kind of tickle the edge of that point, not quite fully cap it, just to let it kind of, keep on going through overtime. Because
you just have to go against your,
yeah,
muscle memory of capping a point. Sometimes you just have to do the half.
Sometimes it has to be, this slightly weird play, but we are seeing Elektro 2 rounds to 0, looking to maybe secure this in a swift 3-0 and take this series, but not if Top5Sons have anything to say about it. So, going into the third possible final mid, we have soldiers jumping all over each other, rockets being hit all over the shop, but Everett will be the first casualty. The follow-up, though, from Sorix, getting a couple.
Very nice bomb.
Yeah, really crucial, picking up Ombrak as well. We do have scrappy fights going everywhere. Damage being taken onto Demos. He's getting that nice little surf, but maybe... Oh, important little meat shot there from Yeehaw, and he wants more now. War recognizes it. War's just like, nah, man, I ain't playing this game. I ain't playing this game. So that's going to be a 1 mid by Elektro. That's going to be significant Uber advantage, and maybe it's time them taking down that clock again.
I really want to see an aggro push right here from Aura. I mean, oh, they're just getting jumped by everyone right now, but oh, they end up getting forced. If they didn't get up getting forced, I would really want to see a forward hold at least once this game, you know? We haven't seen a single one so far. It's just a really back and forth game so far.
It has been, but ultimately it's been, you know, kind of back and forth, but with Aura keeping control of the point. It's just sometimes the way the Viaduct goes, you know? You can be fighting wherever on the map, but whoever controls the point really is going to be the one ultimately getting closer to winning or controlling the universe, I'll be honest with you. So, Ombrak, he does have this sizable Uber advantage because, like you said, we did get that force on the side of Top 5, so War's going to be walking on through 90%. Again, looks like they want to try and take this for free. This time, just before they're getting that Uber, they want to kind of min-max this time, and they know they can't really afford to wait around forever, so they're going to be walking straight forward on the point. Ombrak does now have his Uber. Poison's going to be jumping a little bit, but a bit of a fake now. He might have actually ran out of ammo, so he's definitely not staying in too long, but Kunu getting picked up by this trap. I don't think it's the same trap again, the one on the rock.
I didn't even see the trap, really, to be quite honest with you, but it looks like Aura's just going to take this trade in. Very scrappy, you know, it's product. There are going to be people flying left and right when the Uber trades are coming in, but it looks like Aura's going to be coming on top of this exchange and capping out the point.
Oh my god, yeah, it's going to be... I feel like Yeehaw's really just owning right now. Eames as well, jumping just to get some damage, and importantly, Poison
comes in and cleans up Ombrak.
Yeah, the follow-up. It was
just caps, jumps in, cleans up Ombrak because he was staying in. He saw the opportunity and absolutely took it. And there you go, another 50% out for the Aura boys.
Yep, it's going to be really, really hard. Kunu once again on Sniper. Everex not opting to go on the Sky. He's going to be staying on Soldier. Maybe he just thinks it's the best opportunity here. You know, best way to get fast. A headshot ringing out on that Soldier. Not really going to be able to happen. And Sorax again dying. Eames with his like 300 IQ sticky traps. They're just absolutely picking these players apart. They do manage to cap on the side of Top5Sons, but really, how much does it mean? This one pup's going to be nice. Ombrak with a little follow-up. It's good stuff, but Eames just crushing alongside Poison and Azunis. They're taking them all down. No one's really alive on the side of Top5Sons. Only just 2 spawners. We have a full 100% Uber advantage. I mean, it's going to be difficult. We have, once again, such a struggle for them.
That's a disaster about to happen. When you are running a sniper and you only have 1 scout, and the 1 scout that you have is going to get picked by a sticky trap, that's... Your medic's basically dead.
You're basically done for. There's nothing you can do. Well, they're going to have to just keep on going forward, regardless of whether Aura has Uber or not. The Aura Uber is going to get used. They did manage to cap us a little bit under them. Eames once again jumping in deep, but doesn't really want to fully commit. Looks like they want to try and secure some of these frags. Eames did actually get picked off. Even that not full commit was just a little bit too much. Yeehor, though, still continuing to get 1 frag after another. So Aura's going to be recapping. Ombrak getting pretty close to his own Uber. 55 seconds left on the clock. Kuni's going to be up, though. It's still very, very possible for Top5Sons.
It really is, but they have to be really smart about this Uber, right? The second that they see demos being able to, you know, take it down with that Uber, you know, just jump war in, flash them in, and that's exactly what they're doing. They see demos, you know, exposed, and they're just jumping really forward, and demos going down.
Yeah, that's really, really good actually. These stickies from War, very, very important. Take it down this medic. So
Eames jumping in and pipes.
Every time they're in a good position, they somehow manage to just lose track of these players. They lose Ombrak again, and now it's basically going to be, it's not even going to be equal because of how the spawns work. Demos is already up. He's going to have a 20+% advantage. They're going to have heals to repush.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That was actually the first time I saw Top5Sons using their Uber aggressively, and it actually worked. But towards the end of the Uber, it was very, very nice play from Eames, you know, resetting that. And again, we see Kuno on Sniper, so only 1 scout on the side of Top5Sons, and that means that these soldiers are pretty much invited to jump Umbrak.
Just keep on doing it. Well, I mean, Kuno's taking down Eames, and Sarks is still putting in the work right now. We have managed to get the sniper towards a position on point, and it's about... I mean, the clock is ticking down at this point. You know, there might be an opportunity. Really, though, I feel like Kuno kind of has to hit something pretty clutch here, something really, really important, but it's just kind of backing up. Demos, he's getting his Uber to 100%, 80% on Ombrak. Ombrak really, really needs to get this Uber now. Any aggressive play that's just about going to catch him will be a little bit disastrous. They kind of can't really let them take over the point either. They need to kind of play these little lines. The body shot missing from Kuno. That might be so disastrous. We do see these Ubers getting traded now. They're all over the point. We have a lot of cap time on the side of Elektro. FX is going down as well. There's no soldiers on the side of Top5Sons, and it looks like Elektro is going to surge forward. They have no interest in capping just yet. We'll just about do it. Poison, once again, hitting 2 really important rockets. I mean, Ombrak just about doesn't die, but they've got to really kind of keep on moving here. There's really weak health on Sarks as well. They kind of don't have much of a choice, though. That body shot on Kuno does open things up. Azunis not going to be there. They know exactly where the second soldier is. Evrex will be jumping in, getting some good damage. Yeah, cleaning up Nevo now. 2 frags down. They should be looking to recap this. They should be looking to take this to another round. Absolutely no reason why not.
How did that push even work? I mean, sure, they did get the opening pick, but then they just flooded the point, and Aura was just bailing automatically, like they just given up on the point completely for free.
Yeah, this is going to be Poison jumping in. We see Azunis as well, and he's jumping in, trying to get onto things, but he will be going down in Top5Sons, just securing the round by the time.
Yeah, that round seemed so dominant from Aura, but towards the end, it just stuff like sequence that didn't make sense, just giving up on the point completely. You know, playing against Sniper very, very passively is another thing that you want to avoid, especially on product. You always want to be in the enemy faces, enemy team's face, basically.
Yeah, you can't let them get comfortable, and we are going to see Kunu sniping once again. Azunis trying to get aggressive, trying to at least distract him a little bit, but he's going to get taken down by Evrex. Now Evrex is feeling free. He's like, hey, I can jump in deep as well. He's going straight in, along with Opti, I believe. They're taking down Nevo. The body shot's coming out as well, so this is looking like maybe Top5Sons have found their stride a little bit. Yeah, even picking up Yeehor. That's not too bad. I mean, neither of the medics went down, but it is still a pretty decent position here as long as Sorax can stay with the beam and Kudu can get himself into some nice little sniping positions.
But I feel like this is going to be an easy repush because they have Opti on a respawn clock still, and they are running that sniper. So if Aura decide to do a really aggressive trade right now, then that'll be so good for them, and that's probably exactly what they're about to do now.
Oh my lord, both soldiers just land on Kudu, take him down while there's this little trade going on. Evrex, so he does pick up poison, makes this just a little bit easier for his team in the post-Uber fight, so...
Then hits an insane air shot on Azunas, makes an Azunas trader as well.
Oh, these pipes from War. 1-2, goodbye, Scouts. That's actually going to save this for his team. And Sorax is full pasta mode. He's walking all the way in. 1 shot, 2 shot. Takes down Eepily. Oh my god, even picks up poison.
Trading with poison. That was a crazy play from Sorax.
That's vintage Sorax right there. Linguini himself.
Genuine vintage Sorax. Professional kill streak, unusual. all of the
all of those things. All of that and more, but he will just about be spawning still the only scout on his team. Uni still continuing to be sniping here, so maybe Elektro is going to want to try and move forward based off that fact, but maybe they haven't been able to kind of work out the snipe too much in the body shot from Kunu. Demos gets taken down. Absolutely no heals again. The complete collapse is going to be on the Ombrak, but he's just going to use his Uber. He doesn't care. Doesn't really matter. The rest of Elektro is going to get taken down one after another. It's only Yeehor here. He's just about behind. Surely someone knows.
Yeah, you have to be very mindful about the sniper sidelines when you are playing, especially against Kunu, right? Like, Kunu's also playing, you know, a little
bit... onto Demos again!
And onto Demos again.
How did that even happen?
You really have to know your sidelines when you're playing product against a sniper that is very notorious for playing sniper. And it looks like Aura is just going to be sacking onto Ombrak and eventually get them as well, so it's going to be pretty equal Ubers on both ends.
Well, I mean, it's going to be about an 8-second advantage for Demos. Again, the way it works when you don't have the point, you just spawn so much quicker. So Demos is going to be getting about a 25% advantage. But I mean...
But look at a clock, eepily.
You know, you can very easily kind of make that a 0%, and it's only 40 seconds.
Demos going down to a sticky trap from War.
How is this happening? This is a complete polar opposite of what we just saw again. People are going to jump in deep onto Ombrak. Does it really matter? No one's capping the point. The body shots are still ringing out. Ombrak's nowhere to be seen. He's all the way gone. He doesn't care.
This just looks like a completely clean round from
That's
Top
incredible.
Is it literally just going to be 3 minutes now? I mean, they've been running sniper for the entire round, and it's just a very unlucky place for the Aura guys. I mean, their medic has just died like 3 times in a row to like sticky trap or sniper body shot. You know.
Yeah, that's absolutely wild. But I mean, you know, the Elektro repush is on. They know that Ombrak won't have his Uber yet. They're going to be killing 2, and they can be taking control at this point. So I mean, okay. Right, or Elektro have cap. They do have an opportunity to do something, but the Uber advantage is about to be ready for Ombrak. His spawners are coming in as well, and all they have to do is cap, right? They can jump deep with this Uber. All they need is people off the point. They cap it, GG.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing so cocky on the point right now. They know that they can Uber at any point, and that's exactly what they did. They baited out the soldier aggression. Kunu getting the mid-air headshot on poison as well, and Demos gets the Uber but that's not in time, and they pop it off. But Aura Elektro seems to be losing 2 rounds in a row now, so this is literally map 3 and last round. This is whoever loses this round is out of the tournament.
This is so important now. Every single second counts. Every frag counts. As the medic, as Ombrak and Demos right now, the weight of expectation on your shoulders is absolutely huge. You need to be aware of everything. Kunu still sniping. He trusts himself to hit those shots, but Azunas is getting that first frag on the wall.
Pick on Demos.
Again, Kunu hitting these incredible shots. He's getting one after another after another. Ombrak still alive.
As well. I mean, Kunu's just been hitting like every shot that he took like the past 2 rounds. He's been doing so much work for his team. It's incredible.
I've never seen a situation, right? I've never seen a situation where you're running 2 soldiers permanently and you're looking at a sniper like, oh, thank God we have him on sniper and not scout. That's crazy. He might even get him again. Kunu! One after another. Demos, please, for God's sake, check the sidelines.
Let's check the sidelines. Someone will link Demos to like a TF2 comp thing.
Oh my God, we will be getting Azunas in onto Ombrak. Uber will get used, so it's not a complete disaster for the side of Aura Elektro, but they're going to be killing every single one of them. Demos
is on crits.
Yes, he is, and I love to see that, right? That is a sign of not only desperation, but I mean a real commitment to being like, right boys, we're going to shake things up. Something's wrong, but we're going to fix it.
I don't think that's even desperation. It's just they really need a major change because they lost the 2 rounds. And this is literally a decider round, so they need a major change in their gameplay. So definitely it's a pretty smart pick, but War getting a random sticky trap kill again on Eames. They just keep getting these picks that make these fights so much easier for them.
It's so crazy. Every single time Elektro wants to move forward, they're just losing another player and another player. And look at how this crit is being built. It's being built abysmally. Ombrak has his Uber first, for God's sake. This is going to be so comfortable. All they need to do is recognize when that crit is up, recognize firstly that there's crits at all. Just use their Uber. Crits does come out. He does shoot his, but he's just not really getting anything at all. Sorax does go down. Uber does get used. Very nearly got a second one there, but it is going to be hopefully nothing too bad really on the side of Top5Sons. Losing this one player though, it does force them back. They don't have that scout. Body shot still coming out, and War's big old pipe onto Zunis might open up an opportunity for them to repush.
Yeah, I mean, Top5Sons are just looking way too solid for Aura right now. They're just getting picks left and right, but Aura is like, yep, we are not giving up yet. We are still trying to pressure you guys, but eventually they have to fall back. Kunu's been up basically the entire round as well.
Oh my god, Sorax is just going forward, takes down Eames. He does just about get traded there by Yeehaw, but Kunu's still in a position. They're dealing so much damage constantly to these Aura players. It's looking pretty comfortable, but ultimately I think the Small is just about on their way. This crit is up now, so there is a bit of an opportunity. Ombrak only on 70%. It's going to be Poison jumping over. Oh, the crit scout! The meat shots are coming out. He takes down one, but is that going to be it?
No, but Demos goes down to an incredible bomb from Everex.
Oh, it's just... I don't know about this crit. I don't know if it's going to be enough at this point.
And now Ombrak is on a full Uber advantage as well, and Kunu is just...
He doesn't die. He's not dying.
He's not dying. No one's really shooting him, as far as I'm aware of. I don't think I've seen him die this round so far.
I don't really get it. He just seems to be able to do whatever he wants. A sticky trap. Now Ombrak's checking himself. He's like, no. If we can keep control of this point, if we can take it for free, which it looks like they should be able to, they might just be able to kind of win it just from here. The damage being dealt, Soldiers jumping in. They need to get on Ombrak. They have now forced his Uber. Eames has got taken down. Yeehaw's trying to run away with his medic, and it looks like they will be escaping. Back on Medigun was a decision that Demos has now made. The crits, I mean, it might work sometimes, but at this point it's going really down to the wire. It's such a judgment call, and he's just decided, look guys, we can't rely on it. We do now have a 25%-ish Uber advantage. If we can build that, we might be able to do this, but it is 32 seconds on the clock and ticking.
This is all or nothing situation for Aura right now. If this push is not gonna end up happening, but sticky traps, again, War just picking up players before the pushes even happen.
Picks up both Soldiers with a sticky trap and a pipe, and then Nevo as well. Demos hasn't even got his Uber, 98% behind the point, and Opti's in! What an easy force, and now it's going to be all about keeping Ombrak alive all the way. It's fine, you can lose War, you can lose Opti. Everex doesn't really matter at this point. 4 seconds left on the clock. It's actually going to be overtime. By the time that there's even going to be an Uber up on the side of Ombrak, all they need is one singular cap. And we do actually see Elektro delaying the cap a second to get Demos up earlier.
That's a smart move.
They made that mistake before. We've seen it before in this game, but it's going to be working this time. They're going to be playing it smart, but still, they have a full Uber disadvantage to play
Kuno
against.
recognizes that this is the last Uber that they need to, they have to have success with us. So he switches the over to Scout, and we see them now pushing over the far left-hand side of this point with the Uber. Not really getting much.
Yeah, all they need to do is cap at this point, but actually, no, they're not really able to do a great deal. Sox goes down, but Everex with the follow-up. Those two frags are going to be really
what
key.
an air shot from Poison.
Oh, it's looking good. Everyone's hitting such crazy shots. Opti takes down Demos, so the heals aren't really in the fight. They're just happening on point, though. Poison, you have to get to point. Yeehaw desperately trying to, but that's going to be it. Top5Sons with an incredible comeback.
Well, it was literally 2-0 for the guys over at Aura, and then Kunu takes out a sniper, and it's day and night difference.
Yeah.
For Top5Sons.
It looks like a different team.
It didn't even seem like Kunu is getting forced out of his positions where he was staying, or like his sidelines. It was like Aura's never played against a sniper on Viaduct before.
Yeah, honestly, like, all these different angles, like, surely Demos has to know better than that. It's crazy, one body shot after another, and, Kunu was hitting some, like, big, impressive, flashy headshots, but it was more, he was just hitting those shots that you need to hit, right?
Those
and
important body
if you just don't hit
shots.
the angles, it's like,
Sometimes you just have to hold an angle, and, you just have to press the left mouse button at the exact same time as someone.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You don't have to go for the flashy headshots sometimes. You just have to hit the important shots, and that's what wins games. And But that comeback, man, that was absolutely incredible.
That was absolutely crazy.
But we will be handing it over to the guys over at the analyst desk. What a game, eepily. What a game.
What a game. What do you guys think?
I know I'm live production, I'm just speechless, okay? I'm speechless. What the hell, boys? What on earth is going on? That was just, oh my God, what a game, boys, what a game. What are your emotions after watching a game like that?
I mean, in the beginning, it really looked like Aura was gonna take it. They were really confident, and they got 2 rounds up really quickly. And in the second round, Kuno brought out the sniper, and it didn't really work. But then in the third round, he just started popping off, and they mounted the comeback.
Yeah, it was like a dying man's last wish. Kuno he was 2-0 down. They were looking utterly defeated at the beginning of the game as well. Like, the difference was night and day. Aura was just playing King of the Hill better than Top5Sons was for the first 2 rounds entirely. And then they decided, well, if you guys play better with your 6 classes, we're just gonna play better with the sniper. And they never really got to Kuno properly to shut him down ever again afterwards.
Boys, let's look at the logs. I want to see the mathematical breakdown. I want to see a comeback, you know, breaking down to its formula. Let's see it. All right, guys. I mean, whew, I just want to look at one player only. Where is he? Where is he? He's got to be here somewhere. I can't find him. Kuno, sitting on 24 kills, 11 deaths. He's not even marked a sniper on this. He's marked a scout, but I feel like that boy was always going to be remembered as sniper from this game.
I mean, it really did better in the end that he played scout at the beginning, because they really only started showing up once the sniper was on the field, and it started clicking for everybody how to play around the sniper, and that same click to play around the sniper never really happened for Elektro. On top of that, everybody else obviously played incredibly well on top of that. You see war stats, just incredible damage, and everybody else is cleaning up for that matter as well. Really, really well done there, and that's all you need. Really well done executed bombs as well by the soldier duo Opti and EverX on the side of Top5Sons, just catching demos, maybe just as much at the beginning at least, to keep it close in the first 2 rounds as Kuno did on Sniper later on.
Anything else jumping at you, Alba? Is it just all about that sniper, or, I mean, like DumTum says, EverX was popping off as well, I noticed.
Yeah, I think in order to mount a good comeback, you need one player to do a really big play, because then you start to get the momentum back, and you get the feeling that we can actually do this. And that's kind of what happened. You know, Koff started to pop off, and then the rest of the players just followed up and started playing well as well.
Wow, I think this is going to be one of the rare moments where I want to see the alternative stats. I want to see those little mini stats that we don't really get to pay attention to much. Headshots. There's only 5 on there, but I mean, it felt like a lot more. He was like a body shot warrior. I bet Denia would be proud, Alba.
Yeah, there was a lot of very important body shots, especially on demos, but also on EAMs. You know, getting the key players out. Yeah, we also see a lot of air shots actually this game.
Anything kind of jumping at you, DumTum? I know there's not too much to work.
Yeah, I mean, no one likes getting body shot, right? At least with a headshot, you know, he at least aimed very precisely. But at the end of the day, those consistent body shots are really important. I think Adysky described as well. Sometimes you just need to hold the angle and basically be like a long-range soldier just spamming a doorway, right? You just need to not have anything go through that door, and suddenly you have so much more map control in your favor with just a single player dedicated to that single area. And sometimes that's making all the difference here.
All right, let's cap off our little things with some medic stats. Now, this is usually where you kind of diagnose the game overall, because medic's such a pivotal role that, you know, little tiny fluctuations in that kind of dictate whether or not how the entire game was paced. And we actually saw a bit of Kritzkrieg coming out from Aura Elektro there, Alba. You know, are you a fan of switching up to the Kritzkrieg when things start going dire?
I mean, it was kind of a desperation move, and I understand it. I'm not particularly a fan of Kritzkrieg on product, but I mean, they tried. They were having the momentum against them, and they just tried to get something going for them. And the good crits could definitely have switched the momentum back, but unfortunately, they didn't have much luck in those 2 crits.
You notice the philosophy in like heal targets here, Dum-Tum, between the two teams. One prioritizing war with the majority of them, the other prioritizing Yeehaw.
Yeah, you could also tell, like, if you take this into account with the stats we've seen beforehand with the damage and kill stats, War obviously leading the charge, also taking high amounts of damage, and obviously all the heals for leading the charge for the team, dealing all the initial damage for everybody else to be able to play off. On Aura, it's more the scout meta coming into fruition. They pump all the heals into Yeehaw. He definitely did perform well, given those expectations, but in the end of the day, it still wasn't quite enough. And I can't even say it's necessarily that these two playstyles like clash in a way where Top5Sons comes out on top, because in the end, the biggest difference maker was still the sniper.
Yeah. Now, boys, I can't help but feel after we put these logs away that we've paid a great price for this. I mean, sure, it was a wonderful game to watch. I mean, it got me out of my seat. I mean, I didn't have a seat, but it got me out of my seat, and it was really great to watch. But we are going to lose a team for this. We're going to have to say goodbye to Aura Elektro, and they're not a bad team by any stroke of the imagination, are they?
Yeah, it's surprisingly, like, this is going out as like 5th/6th place, and somehow after like all the lands they've been to, that's their worst land performance. That's nothing you can really complain about too much. Sure, they might have had great ambitions, but at the end, it just shows how great the competition is here, and they can't be too bitter about it, I think.
Albert, how do you feel that Top5Sons have actually thrown their hat in the ring and think like, yeah, we could actually make a decent go of this? I mean, everyone counted them out from day one, but it goes to show that comeback's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for them. You know, they had a really hard struggle through the invite group, and now getting a really close game and actually mounting a very nice comeback, it's going to get them, make them feel very good, and also give them a lot of momentum going into the next game.
Yeah, and so we will say goodbye, and at least, you know, congrats to Aura Elektro for just doing as well and putting on a great show just throughout the entire LAN. But we will say goodbye to the boys, and I'm sure we'll see them out in the crowd talking to things. Who knows, we might even get some of them on the panel. But either way, big, I guess, hard luck for them, and a big congratulations to Top5Sons. They're going to proceed in the lower bracket going into the next round. And sadly, this is where we put down the lower bracket. We're going to head on over to the upper bracket now because we've got some big names, boys. Very big names. I'm going to just tease you with the details. It's going to be Ascent NA versus 7. It's NA versus EU. It's, I guess, a story as old as iSeries, so... Excited? Excited?
Very excited. I think it's the match that everyone is waiting for. You know, see the best NA team and arguably the best EU team as well. I mean, proven best EU team. Head in a best-of-3 fashion. It's gonna be a very good game.
Yeah. Tom, excited?
Yeah, I think regardless of if 7 wins or not, this will show how much potential they really have to win it all in the end. 7 is a really adaptable team. They will take every opportunity to see what Ascent NA is made of. They played them in group zones. I'm fairly confident they lost 3-1, I think was the scoreline, so not like a huge role either way. And let's see if 7 already like did that step that is necessary to just draw this gap closer. If not, then surely you have to take every chance to just learn as much as possible about this NA team.
All right, well, that sounds like a great tagline to kind of end it there after all those nice little words of how exciting our next game is going to be. We're going to get the preparations ready for that. To do that, though, we're going to have to take it to a short break, and then we'll be back with our upper bracket grand final, Ascent.NA versus 7.